The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Stutter! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, January 17th, 2025. This program starts right now. Football is wonderful. We are just one day away from the divisional round of the NFL kicking off tomorrow. Two games on Sunday. And then what on Monday? Oh, the college football national championship that we'll be on the sideline for another edition, potentially the final edition of the Field Pass on ESPN2. We can't thank you all enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Football is on fire. We're lucky to be in the middle of all of it. The Talks at Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, you look fantastic. Good to see you.
Hey, thank you. You look great as well.
How about Boston Connor right now? Rocking a brand new 50 jersey. How and why did that come to be, Boston?
About 2 weeks before the Patriots announced who their next head coach would be, I thought, it's going to be Mike Vrabel. Like, what are we even talking about here? This is stupid. So there's obviously the red, the blue, the white. The blue and the white, kind of the newer jerseys. I don't think Mr. Supreme Commander Mike Vrabel ever wore those. So I said, you know what, I'll get a red one. And it doesn't say Vrabel on the back. Instead,
what? Okay.
It says head coach.
Yeah, I get it, because that was his jersey.
Yeah.
But now he's the head coach of the team.
Bingo, yeah. So I think it works in both ways. Obviously, a 50, Mike Vrabel, of course. That's not Rob Ninkovich, that's Mike Vrabel. And then you look on the back, head coach, yes, of course, it's Mike Vrabel. Now, I didn't go white or blue because, maybe the Patriots change their jerseys. Maybe they go back to the old school, what they used to be, those kind of throwback ones, but permanently. But so I went with the red. Yeah, I'm very proud of this purchase. I would honestly.
What size is that? Is that for pads? Is that to fit with pads on?
Funny enough, it is double X, just in case, either Supreme Commander Mike Vrabel wanted it, or if I had to throw some shoulder pads on, it would still work. So that's why I went with the double X. Also, that's all that was available. So it's kind of is what it is in that sense. But I'm glad that I did it so that when I do need to wear shoulder pads, which I'm sure will happen over these next 8 months before the next season starts, that I'll still be able to wear it.
I heard Supreme Commander maybe knows of your existence, obviously, and then also said, hey, I'm going to need a ride to and work if you can figure that out for me. Is that potentially what happened there?
There's a chance. And look, it's open. I have people that are waiting for that call.
To piggyback ride.
To pick up Mike, Supreme Commander, whenever he needs. And also I know these same people have very, very good connections in the nicotine department. So I know whatever he would need possibly. He would
Big deal today. The nicotine department, FDA approves Zyn to go ahead and move forward, which is a wild development in it all. I think the big tobacco is also running Big Zyn, I think. So
correct.
It's kind of one thing to the other.
Yeah.
Why I potentially got Nonetheless, the Zinners out there get a Zyn on the notch today. Zyn is now FDA approved, which I'm not 100% sure what that means, but I know this office is certainly pumped that it's not going anywhere. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm just talking about the random Zyns that are around everywhere. And I don't think our office is alone in that. I think it's rather large everywhere. Let's talk about the hat you have on. Just cocks across your forehead right now. Are you mayor of Cocktown today?
No, I figured, there's some football teams, especially on this weekend. You talked about how great it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I feel like the Cocks are one of those teams that are probably still thinking right now we should be in the national championship. And I don't want to say that they should, because I think we got it right. I think the 7 versus 8 seed is perfect.
You said, you know what? It's a national championship on Monday. Let's go back 4 rounds.
Bingo.
And revisit the argument of who got in and who didn't.
And we remember, we're talking about all these NFL teams that had great seasons. We're probably going to talk about a few more on Monday. Like, hey, it was still a great season. Cox, I just want them to know we remember.
They finished strong. The Cox strong on this is what people would say. And I think Shane Beamer is excited for what he's building down there in South Carolina. I think going forward, South Carolina is going to be in a great spot. They certainly ended the year in the right way. And that first round of college football playoffs, a lot of blowouts.
A lot of blowouts.
So there was a lot of arguments on who got in, who should have got in, who shouldn't have got in. Then we go to the second round. Guess what? Another round of it.
Oh, yeah.
Then we get to the semifinals, good games. Now we're at the national championship. We assume Notre Dame and Ohio State are going to bring out the best in each other. And we'll say this. The messaging that's coming out of both teams, awesome.
Yes.
Everything you would want from two teams that are, laying on the line for one last time. Jack Sawyer, Captain Jack Sawyer, number 33 for the Ohio State Buckeyes, who had the strip sack and then the 92-yard scoop and score against Texas to put that game away down there in the Cotton Bowl. He had a Players Tribune article written, and he said, one more, then forever. And basically this whole narrative started after last year, whenever he and a group of the guys that could have went and left to the NFL gone on a group text and basically shared their thoughts about how, we can come back and win the whole damn thing. We can come back and really rewrite the entire script. And he said it was very emotional in there. Some guys chose to leave. Some guys wanted to leave at the beginning, and then in the group text decided they wanted to come back. And they decided one more season, then we have forever as Buckeyes. Now there's one more game, then forever. What Captain Jack is saying in that article, the Players Tribune, wonderful. Then Riley Leonard, his message. And I don't know if it was his idea or if it was Coach Freeman's idea or whatever it is. They said history is written by the winners, basically. The conquerors is how they said. You're holding the pen has been the messaging. So Jack Sawyer and the Buckeyes are like, one more, then forever. And then Notre Dame's like, hey, we're writing history right now. Those are two very powerful narratives combining on Monday night, clashing on Monday night, two fantastic teams. Monday night is going to be awesome, Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, I cannot wait. And I think, like you said, too, the closer we've gotten to this game, early on, I think everyone was like, okay, we've seen Ohio State and what they've been able to do these last several weeks. They're going to blow out Notre Dame. They're way more talented. They have all the 5-star recruits. Their offense has been humming. I think we're going to get a tight game. I really do. I think there is a world in which Notre Dame can absolutely win this game. I can't wait. I mean, the semifinals, both of them, I mean, in that game, early on, it was like, we were there in Miami, and it felt like, Notre Dame, like, it's just not their night. It was a great season, but when they have the opportunity to take the momentum and flip it, they flip the game on its head. They've done that in, every single round thus far. So I can't wait for this game. Like Connor said, I think we got it right. I think this is one of the most anticipated college football matchups in a long time that's going to decide a champion.
They were saying that the Thursday and Friday night playoff games had lower ratings than something in the past and yada, yada. I think there was a little bit of either confusion on how big the games were, that the games were a big deal. And national championship, everybody knows.
Yes.
Like this is it. So I think viewing patterns are going to have to get used to being 4 games,
right,
which for these two teams they've had to do. They've had to show up 4 straight games against very good opponents and play their best game. Show up in the biggest moments, make clutch plays, make clutch throws, make massive clutch tackles, call a great game, make massive decisions, and also deliver your message if you're Marcus Freeman or Ryan Day 4 different times to get it through that this is the biggest game of your life. They've obviously been able to do that. That guy's different than everybody else that's going to be on the field. He'll be back next year again, hopefully for Ohio State. I assume it will be for Ohio State, even though we don't understand how college football works nowadays. There's a chance he plays for another team. I guess there's a chance somebody comes in and says, Jeremiah Smith, here's $30 million for you to come play for another school. I don't know if that's possible or even a thought at the moment for Jeremiah, Travion Henderson, and this entire squad, but cannot wait for Monday night. And then the divisional round this weekend. Let's go to one half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys AP Tone. We were checking out the weather. We're checking out the weather. We think it's going to play a factor, especially in a couple of these games. Texans, Chiefs, obviously kicking everything off on Saturday. It is 4:30 kickoff. At kickoff, it'll be 24 degrees.
Okay.
The coldest it's going to get is about 20. Ooh. It'll feel like it's 10 degrees. 11 to 13 mile-an-hour winds. That's pretty big. 11 to 13 is certainly palpable, and you will feel that. The Houston Texans obviously come from a dome. They're down in Houston, normally humid and everything like that. Will that play a factor like it did for the Miami Dolphins last year? We shall see. Then Washington Commanders taking on the Detroit Lions. Now, that's on Saturday at 8 o'clock. It's going to feel like it's 70 and sunny at kickoff.
Okay.
The coldest it's going to get is about 70 and sunny.
Okay.
And then it's going to feel like it's about 70 and sunny.
Perfect.
And, there's a lot of people that say, why don't we have that have for all games, especially with the amount of money we have. That beautiful Ford Field Dome up there is going to be rocking for that one. Obviously, Jaden Daniels and the boys coming in there. They have overachieved this season. I think they're going in there free against the Detroit Lions team that could feel it. Then Rams, Eagles. This one, you see all the snowflakes around here.
Ooh.
That's not saying they're soft. That's not snowflakes.
No,
like there's
not at all.
softies around here.
Not at all.
Okay, that's saying those Johns are going to have to deal with 32 at kickoff, 31 coldest. It's going to feel like it's 22. 10 to 11 mile-an-hour winds. It's going to be breezy. A lot of snow. They're thinking maybe 3 to 5 inches over there for that particular game. And then obviously Ravens, Bills caps off an incredible division round weekend. It's going to feel like it's 19 at kickoff. I'm sorry, going to be 19 kickoff coldest, and it's going to feel like it's 11 with 6 to 7 mile-an-hour winds.
Damn.
Only about an inch of snow being projected now at this time. Tone, when you look at this, who is at the greatest advantage with the way the weather's going to be throughout the divisional round weekend, and how do you think it actually plays into the game's outcomes?
Like, greatest advantage, and we've talked about this. We talked about it a lot that first weekend of the college football playoff when it was the first time that teams were hosting and had home field advantage. And we talked about warmer teams coming up. We saw it with SMU going to Penn State, and we saw it other places. When you look at this, I mean, it's
Tennessee coming up to Ohio State.
Yes, Tennessee coming up to Ohio State. When you look at this, it's obviously the Chiefs and the Eagles who you would think have the biggest advantage because obviously you said Houston being the dome team, LA being a dome team, also being LA, Houston, both warm places going against Chiefs and Eagles who not only are warm or cold weather climates, these teams have played deep into playoffs in cold weather games in these situations before, like in the college football playoff. Even Ohio State, they had never played into December. Like, Tennessee was coming from a warmer climate, but Ohio State still had these are teams in the Chiefs and Eagles that have made deep playoff runs and know what it's like to play in the cold. So, obviously, I think those two teams have the biggest advantage weather-wise.
And the way the Eagles play is a cold weather style. Matthew Stafford is who we're all banking on with Puka and Cooper and everything they got. And obviously, Williams is very good. But the Philadelphia Eagles have the best offensive line in the entire NFL, says A.Q. Shipley in the trenches. They also have the best running back in the NFL in Saquon Barkley, if you look at all of the stats pretty much. So you would think cold weather, a lot of snow, that feeds right into what they're Saquon, Pennsylvania guy, Penn State guy, played for the Giants, now he's playing for the Eagles. It's like built for it. I was born in it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he likes it. Okay, a lot of us who were born in the cold, we obviously have built up calluses to understand it. Doesn't mean we like it. It's just like, okay, whenever we get dropped into it, we understand the suck a little bit more than most people. Not saying NFL players aren't used to playing in cold. There's going to be cold games. But whenever you're talking about 3 to 5 inches of snow, when you're talking about it feeling like it's 22 degrees, 10 to 11 mile-an-hour winds, I mean, that is a mental test as much as it is a physical test. Philadelphia Eagles, we think, will be set up for that in a good way. But this LA Rams team has been surprising everybody through the entirety. Then you think about Ravens, Bills. Obviously, the Bills and the Bills Mafia are used to it feeling like it's 11 degrees. They're used to it being 6 to 7 mile-an-hour winds. I assume they were hoping that maybe we get a little bit more snow so we can get a real Buffalo game. I think less snow, the better for the Buffalo Bills, because if you think of the way the Baltimore Ravens are built, with Patrick Ricard and Derrick Henry in the backfield, with Lamar Jackson, the power game that they could just play. If it was to get a little messy, if this was become a mud game, become a snow game, if this would become that, you'd think it would benefit the Baltimore Ravens as opposed to the Buffalo Bills, but they got Josh Allen.
Yeah, exactly.
Josh Allen is a wagon in of himself, used to it, comes from the mountains, played over there in Wyoming, obviously in Buffalo, huge hands. Huge hands, able to spin it. Not that Lamar isn't used to it at this point. And then you talk about the Texans going to Kansas City. When Miami went to Kansas City, it was just a different ball game. I don't think Houston has the same softness as the Miami Dolphins team does. D'Amico Ryans has a little different group of boys down there traveling up to Kansas City, but that'll certainly play into it as well. And from what we're hearing, there's a little Tay Voodoo going on. Which we didn't even add to the graphic, which we should, because Taylor Swift's aura is certainly a part of the weather climate.
Yeah, and even for the Buffalo game, like you mentioned, we looked earlier on the insights on NFL Plus Premium's NFL Pro, and the Bills are also one of the top teams when it comes to the jumbo personnel. They bring in Spank Brown, number 70. So it's almost like that game is going to be kind of favored for both of them with this weather. It might just be a ground and pound. But then the other thing that we saw was, and Chuck Pagano mentioned this yesterday, I believe, that the Bills stay in nickel personnel, and they kind of brought that up in those kind of graphics that we saw about the game.
Yeah, no matter what, they kind of stay in it, and the Ravens kind of roll with Ricard and their jumbo personnel. And I believe the thing that I saw was Todd Monken used it 16 times during the wild card round against
the Texans last week. And so that if they continue to do that, especially with the kind of Bills not changing their defense, like Chuck mentioned, they'll just roll it out there no matter what, then the Ravens might just run wild. But again, like the Bills, they can do it as well because they use the jumbo.
We love the thought of power football, and that is why all season, the conversation is like, oh, this team looks good, this team looks good. But when push comes to shove, are they going to be able to win late in December, January to make it to February football? And it always revolves around the line. Mm-hmm. It always revolves around the style of play. Now, granted, unless there's more teams with warmer climates that are going to start getting the home field and start getting seeded higher, which we don't think is going to be possible, especially with the Chiefs existing, especially with Lamar existing, especially with Josh Allen existing. Yeah. You name it. Now, granted, Detroit is the perfect place for anybody to play because it's perfect conditions. It's also the perfect place for the Detroit Lions to play with the way they play offense. Yep. But to get to the Super Bowl, which is going to be perfect climate normally, you're going to have to play some tough ball. Does your team have it or not? That's what you should be thinking all offseason. Can our team win during the regular season? Who cares, Dad? Who cares? Can you win and when it matters? Because inevitably only one team is going to have a happy offseason. The rest of the 31 teams are going to be miserable. And if you get in one of these big-time games that you've been dreaming of, you've been hoping for, and you just get smacked in the mouth because you're not tough enough, don't want to keep referencing this, the Miami Dolphins.
Right. Yes.
That is not a good way to end the season. That almost takes your hope away for future seasons more than a team that didn't even make it to the playoffs. It's like, well, even if we make it, we got no shot. Massive 4 games. Can't wait to hang out on Saturday with the NFL, Sunday with the NFL, and then the College Football National Championship on Monday. Football is on fire. Let's talk about some drama. Conversations, narrative being built. Jason Witten was asked about potentially being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He said no comment. Now, did he say no comment because he's not the best public speaker? As we learned on Monday Night Football.
That makes sense.
Potentially. But then there's another guy that's potentially going to the Dallas Cowboys. His name is Deion Sanders. We'll be talking to friend and family, basically, of Prime Time in the second hour, and Pac-Man Jones, friend of the program.
Hell yeah.
He obviously is close with Deion. Deion was actually on the Pac-Man Jones show a month ago or 2 months ago and was basically laughing at the idea of him leaving Colorado. Now, I don't think at the time he understood what options were available, and I don't think he's gotten a call from Jerry Jones at that time to potentially come be the head coach of the Cowboys. Now, we're starting to hear some rumors, NIL money is run dry, potentially, in Colorado. He's asked for more money to raise for his assistant coaches in this entire thing over there at Colorado. So now he's chit-chatting about these things getting released, pretty similar to what was happening at Jacksonville State when it was like, hey, we weren't able to get this, we weren't able to get this. Now Colorado, we're not able to have enough NIL money. We're not able to have enough money to pay the assistant coaches. There's a lot of rumors coming out now from Colorado. I don't want to say justifying a move to the Dallas Cowboys because I don't think he has to do that. Dallas Cowboys head coaching job is one that any college coach would probably take if they were offered it. But prying to the Dallas Cowboys feels a lot more real now than it ever has, Ty.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think, to Deion's credit, like that's what you would do is, he went to Colorado and kind of gave him the chance. It's like, hey, I want more money, for my staff and for the NIL and all that kind of stuff. And if you are Colorado, and I understand, maybe the money's not there, maybe it's not available, but you see all this Cowboys stuff come out, hey, that's a very enticing job. His relationship with Jerry. So Deion kind of gave them every opportunity to be like, hey, you know what? Nope, you are our guy. You've turned this culture around. We'll give you whatever you need to continue to succeed. And if they weren't able to do that now, it seems like it is just going to take Jerry, flying his helicopter to Dallas or where Deion lives in Texas or wherever Deion's at and say, hey, okay, what do I need to do to kind of get this thing done?
Yeah, it's fascinating that we're starting to learn this, that this is getting leaked out there. Because now it's like,
hold on.
It feels real.
It does. It feels very real about Deion Sanders going to the Dallas Cowboys. And every new piece of information that we hear about off-the-field stuff, potentially, it's like, wait a minute, is he starting to look around and be like, should I stay here?
Yeah. Sons aren't there anymore.
And I do love Texas.
And this is what people have been saying.
Yeah.
Basically, since the beginning of Prime getting to Colorado, saying, hey, when his kids aren't there, is it going to be a different animal? Now he gets the number 1 recruit in the country to come play quarterback. Perfect timing, the whole thing, pass the keys. And I genuinely think that Prime was staying at Colorado. Then Jerry calls him up and says, we have an opening. You've already proven to be a good coach. You've already proven to be able to build a culture. You know this organization. You know this family. Feels like that is the biggest asset that Prime has versus all these other candidates that could potentially be going to Dallas. Now, Dallas Cowboys are interviewing Kellen Moore, offense coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, who Troy Aikman referenced whenever he did his Monday Night Football kickoff show diatribe about the Dallas Cowboys not really being that coveted of a job and him thinking that Mike McCarthy was going to continue to be the head coach. Troy Aikman said, obviously, I have a lot of love for the Cowboys. I played there for 12 years. We had a lot of success. But I don't know if this is really a place that people want to go anymore. With the way it's run, with the way it's operated, he said that Kellen Moore was forced on a Big Mike McCarthy. He said Big Mike McCarthy was actually told Kellen Moore is going to be your offensive coordinator. So obviously the Jones family loves Kellen Moore. He's been there before. Him and Dak get along very well. And also he'll be a guy that won't, these young guys getting their first head coaching job. I'm not saying Kellen Moore won't have any ideas or opinions, but it's very easy to control, manipulate. I don't want to.
No, yeah.
I don't want to put these negative connotations on it. First-time head coach, young lad.
Guide.
This is very much like, hey, boy, this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. As opposed to you get a veteran coach that comes in there, he's going to have some ideas and thoughts and disagreements. It's just like what happened potentially, although it was never confirmed. Doug Peterson in Philadelphia. Doug Peterson gets a head coaching job at Philadelphia. Hey, you just coached the team. We're going to run everything else. Then Doug Peterson has a lot of success. Then Doug Peterson starts having his own ideas, opinions, and then allegedly, behind the scenes, that all kind of blew up. He takes a year off. He ends up down in Jacksonville. He has since been fired. But the thought was that whenever they hired Doug Peterson in Philadelphia, they could kind of control the entire operation. Yeah. Ownership, Lori, Howie, the whole thing. And then whenever Doug started getting a little bit more
mathy.
Yeah. This guy's getting a little chatty. And then it became a little bit of a problem. Down there in Jerry world, is there a chance that Kellen Moore gets the opportunity as opposed to Prime or as opposed to Witten? Mostly because they know what he's been able to do with that offense. They've seen him. They know him. And they also know that Kellen Moore is going to be very thankful for the opportunity. So anything that happens other than that, he's not going to have any issues with. There's a chance. That's why this Cowboys job is so kind of held in high regard, is because you're going to be on primetime every single week. Everybody's going to know you. You're going to have tours through the building. You got to have somebody that understands that place to get that job. Is Kellen the guy that understands it enough? And also, he's down with just being controlled and not having any say in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I believe when he did leave Dallas, they didn't want him to. Like when Kellen ended up leaving, it wasn't one thing where Jerry wanted that to happen, kind of wanted to keep him. But that's why it feels like Dahn almost feels like it makes more sense if it does end up, coming to an interview and all those things, because he is kind of that guy that gets all those things. He likes all the media and things like that Jerry does. And it kind of feels like Dahn can speak to Jerry the way that Jerry would kind of need to hear certain things. Like Troy kind of made the entire point of you need someone who's going to tell Jerry no sometimes, or at least kind of battle back and forth with him. And if they do want to have somebody that you can kind of just guide and let Jerry steer the ship, absolutely, Kellen makes sense, especially because he's been there. But like Dahn, I feel like understands the star more than anybody else because of the fact that he played there, had success there, and everything.
Well, and also I assume Steven, growing up, fan of Dahn.
Yeah.
Sure.
Jerry Jr., JJ, who we're
Triple
just now
J.
learning of.
Probably loves him.
Jerry Jones Jr.
Yep.
Triple J. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
I mean, that's a great name. We need to learn more about Triple J, Jerry Jones Jr. down there. Probably grew up watching Prime. And I think there was even a commercial that was back in the day where Jerry Jones saying, "Get me Prime," or something like that, how much he has respect for Deion Sanders. So if Steven, Jerry, and Jerry Jr. Are all fans of somebody, that obviously puts it into a respect level, and then also puts Prime in a position where he can say to Steven, like, "Hey, Steven, we need to be doing it. Hey, Jerry, maybe this to Jerry Jones Sr." Like, the whole aspect of Prime going there makes more and more sense the more you talk about it, the more you think about it. Sucks for Colorado.
For sure.
Especially with everything they were able to build there, the culture shift that happened there, everything. The all eyes on Boulder, beautiful place out there. Absolutely gorgeous place. But in reality, not a lot of college coaches would be turning down an opportunity to be the Dallas Cowboys head coach, especially if you have a lot of history there and you became a Hall of Famer, basically, because of a lot of the work that you did for the Dallas Cowboys. Joining us now might be a man who has more information on the situation, senior NFL insider for ESPN, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty.
Shefty, we're talking about, hey, how are you doing, brother? Thank you for joining us. We're talking about the Cowboys situation with Prime because this is sports media dream, but it's also a massive college football story. It's a massive NFL story. There's precedent story. There's a lot going on here. What do you think the reality of the situation is down there in Dallas? Prime has real opportunity. Witten has real opportunity. Kellen has real opportunity. Who's making the decisions? How do you end up seeing this working out, you think, Shefty?
Well, it's Jerry's team, so I think it starts with Jerry. And I think we go from there. And I think Kellen Moore is somebody that knows that system, knows that organization, knows that culture, gets along great with Dak. I think there's a lot there that tells you that Kellen Moore is going to be in play for this job. And if Jerry Jones wants to take a big swing and go for Dahn, go pay the buyout, which, again, I don't think he'd be thrilled about doing. There are ways to navigate that. Maybe he has Netflix partner up with him to help take on some of the costs. Not that Jerry can't afford it or anything.
What is the buyout?
But I don't think that $10 million buyout is completely insignificant in this particular occasion. So we'll see. They've got Robert Saleh today. They're talking to him, the former New York Jets head coach. Kellen Moore, Leslie Frazier coming up here. Those are the known candidates so far. Deion's always there. Jerry knows where to find him. Deion knows where to find Jerry. Deion was planning to go snowmobiling in Colorado this weekend, although I was told it's supposed to be as cold as it's ever been there this weekend. So I don't know if his snowmobile plans are still on in the mountains. We'll see if he's tough enough to go do that or not. So Dallas, again, Dallas is on its own time schedule here. The people, the candidates that the Cowboys are pursuing seem to be different than the candidates that most other teams have on their horizon and their radar. So it's not like Dallas needs to rush to go make a decision. Jerry Jones will be able to go through his process, think about it. And by the way, I'm sure during the course of this, he'll probably change his mind a couple of times. One day feel a certain way, another day feel a different way. But he'll have enough of a foundation to make what he believes is the best decision for the Dallas Cowboys.
That's Jerry Jones football. Also, Jerry Jones football didn't make his decision about Mike McCarthy until after Vrabel was already hired at another spot, so didn't even get a chance to interview, which a lot of people think was the number one coach in this entire hiring cycle. He's already gone to New England, which was seemingly already in the stars to begin with. Last thing here about the Dallas Cowboys before we pivot off anywhere else. Coach Saleh, I know there's only 32 head coaching jobs. I don't know how many years he had left on his contract with the Jets when he got fired. He's not signing up to join another family business. Is he, with how that whole thing worked out in New York, is there a thought about that? Is it still a coveted job by people that are outsiders to the Dallas Cowboys? Kellen in there, Prime in there, Witten in there, Leslie Frazier, I don't know what his history is over there. And once again, remember, Prime and Zimmer have a relationship. Zimmer, current defense coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. Is there still an idea that if you're an outsider for the Cowboys, you want to go into Jerry world and coach for that team?
Oh, I think people would love to go coach the Dallas Cowboys. And by the way, those are all the names. We also have, in that organization, I think the Jones family has a pretty high opinion of Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator. And I don't think anybody's interviewing him. So if they were in a spot, well, that's another name that you'd look at. I think of Anthony Lynn in Washington. I know a lot of people have showered attention on Cliff Kingsbury, but Anthony Lynn is in charge of Washington's run game, has been a head coach, has worked for Jerry Jones before. So I think there are even more candidates in the background that haven't been mentioned yet that gives Jerry a certain sense of comfort that he doesn't have to rush. There are a group of people that he likes, respects, trusts, believes in, whether that's Kellen Moore or Robert Saleh or Deion Sanders, or they go on and they consider guys like Brian Schottenheimer or Anthony Lynn. So there are a lot of guys out there that would fit the bill. And yes, Pat, I think people would love to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay,
love to be. There are 32 head coaching jobs, and there's one job that is the head of the circus in Dallas. And that's what that is right now.
Didn't sound like you said Ben Johnson's name. His name also in the list of being the top coaching candidate. I don't know if he's just intrigued to go jump into the Dallas circus, but they'll find their guy. No. We assume they will. We assume they'll be able. I don't
expect Ben Johnson to be in play in Dallas. I think Jerry has other ideas. I think Ben Johnson has other ideas, and don't think that he's a logical leading candidate there right now. Not because of his coaching, but he's getting a head coaching job. He is getting one. It's just not going to be in Dallas.
Okay, so where's he going to get a head coaching job at?
Well, I know everybody's got Ben Johnson anointed to the Raiders. I'm not in that camp right now. So
wow.
I have to believe it before I see it.
Jacksonville.
No, we're not just going to start listing off Jacksonville. Maybe just look at the eyes.
Ooh.
Look at the eyes.
I got him.
Well, here's my question. Again, I don't know where he's going to go. He's going to have, I think, 3 realistic options. But why is everybody ignoring Chicago when it comes to Ben Johnson? Why has that been just dispelled? I don't get it.
Wow.
What am I missing here?
I think we all think the Chicago Bears organization is shite. So whenever we hear that Ben Johnson, we're not saying that's just, it seems like it's a bit of a shite show. That is what it seems like. So whenever we hear Ben Johnson, we think back to last year when Ben Johnson was like, I'm going to be very picky about where I go because he has options. Be who you can afford to be.
Okay, so if you're going to be very picky, and again, I know that this Raiders freight train has gathered a whole lot of steam, and I don't want to slow it down because, by the way, I want to say for the record, it could happen. He could be the coach there. But I am not just convinced just yet that that's going to be the way it's going to be. When we're talking about picking situations, if you're picking the Raiders, you're telling me that Ben Johnson turned down the chance to go coach Jaden Daniels last year, turned that down so he could go to a place this year in Las Vegas without a top pick, without a quarterback, that plays in a division with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, Sean Payton. Does that make sense to you?
No, it doesn't. Whenever you lay it out that way, it does not.
I'm just wondering. I'm just laying it out there like that.
Then you talk about the NFC North, though. He knows what the NFC North is. So Chicago, if we want to play that game, now granted, they have Caleb Williams, TBD on whether or not he'll be a great NFL quarterback or just a great NFL prospect in the entirety of it all. He's already been through 2 offense coordinators. Sucks for him. Ben Johnson gets in there and maybe lays it down. But the NFC North, you got Kevin O'Connell, you got MCDC, and then obviously the thought of him going in and having to take on Jared Goff and LaFleur, obviously, but having to take on the juggernaut that he helped create up there in Detroit every single year 2 times. Yeah. Then you start nitpicking on that decision. Then you go to Jacksonville. It's like the AFC South. Yeah. The AFC South is a juggernaut too, Shefty. You know that. You know that. So he's going to have
my only point here is I think there's been this overreaction in the media to anoint Ben Johnson to Las Vegas when Jacksonville and Chicago are still in play. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We'll keep it in. We'll write it down. We'll put it on the SeatGeek ticker. We'll put it on the SeatGeek ticker, and we will remind everybody via words across the bottom of the screen. Ben Johnson in Las Vegas is not a guarantee, says Adam Schefter.
And by the way, he still could wind up out there. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not willing to anoint them the favorites right now.
Ben Johnson to the Raiders is not a guarantee, says Adam Schefter. Parenthesis, could happen, no.
Yeah, bingo.
Parentheses. I think that's accurate reporting there. Okay, got it. That's everything in the NFL world. Let's talk about the New England Patriots having to make some hires. Go ahead, con man.
Yeah, Shefty Vrabel's searching for an OCDC. Is there any leans right now? Who are they interviewing? Because I really haven't heard much out of that camp. And also, could you see a possible, former head coach like Saleh or even a Doug Peterson kind of take that role as an OC or DC because they don't want to be a head coach again?
Well, Mike Vrabel's got so many connections and
he does.
Such history with so many people. And he's the first guy hired. He's going to be able to assemble his staff. But like with anybody, any hiring, you have to go through the process. You have to do your diligence on all these different candidates. You have to make sure that it's the right move. You're not rushing into anything. And honestly, now that they have their head coach, the next most important hire that the Patriots make will be, who are they hiring to influence, mold, and shape the future of their franchise quarterback? Amen. It's a critical hire. Again, we've heard the name Josh McDaniels. I think that name makes an awful lot of sense. It would be logical. He's in the Foxborough area. But I think Mike Vrabel has got to hear from a lot of different people and make sure that he feels like he's doing the right thing before he goes and hires whoever he does for that head coaching job.
Got it. Because, in our mind, we just kind of start piecing Vrabel to different people in hirings. It's like, well, he and Artie Smith did a lot of great things together down there in Tennessee. Artie Smith actually came up through the Vrabel camp, I do believe, how he got there. Now, Artie Smith obviously still with the Pittsburgh Steelers, so how does that whole thing work out? And Artie Smith getting head coaching interviews, I do believe. Josh McDaniels, obviously a possibility because of the history, especially up there in that whole thing.
Yeah, Josh McCown's been linked because of the connection with Drake May in high school. He coached
Josh McCown's going to be in Minnesota next year unless he gets a head coaching job.
Okay, let's stay in Minnesota. Ty has a question for you.
Unless he gets a head coaching job.
Is that possible or no? You think Josh McCown high up on some lists?
Yeah, well, no. Listen, if you remember a couple of years back, he was
Texans
very much in the discussion in Houston, and then the Texans went a different direction. So, and I think Josh McCown's going to be a head coach one day. I don't know that it's going to be this year or next year or the year after, but I think he's going to get a chance at some point in time. And look, if we're going to be honest here, the interesting thing about this whole cycle right now, and I've said it to you before, I said it to you this week, I'll say it again. Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are getting head coaching jobs. They're getting head coaching jobs. The interesting part is the other 4 jobs.
Got it.
That's what we need to pay attention to here. Because I don't know that we can say with any clear-cut certainty who candidate number 3 is. Who's the third guy after Glenn and Johnson? Those guys are getting jobs. There's 2 of the 6. Who are the other 4? Is it Robert Saleh? Is it Brian Flores? Is it Josh McCown? Is it Joe Brady? Like, who? Is it Mike McCartney? Is it Jason Witten? Is it Deion Sanders? There's a lot of guys out there, but it's going to be a question of which organizations prefer which guy. The only 2 guys I feel confident right now in saying they're getting jobs are Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn's going back to the Jets, right? That seems like the very easy selection.
I think Aaron Glenn is in play in New York. I think he's in play in New Orleans. I think he's in play in Las Vegas if he wants. So there's a lot of people. There's a lot of places that I think Aaron Glenn will be interested in.
Shout out to MCDC. His coaching tree is going to be a great one.
Got to win a Super Bowl, boys. Let's go.
No. We're worried about future jobs, brother. Okay, we're worried about future jobs.
Playoffs.
Okay, yeah, of course. That's Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. They're locked in. That's why they are so highly regarded. But let's talk about Josh McCown, and let's talk about Minnesota. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, what's going on with KOC up there? We heard the reports from Jay Glazer a couple weeks ago saying, hey, there were talks that they might trade Kevin O'Connell because he only had 1 year left on his deal and they hadn't got anything done yet. And then he said he's been in he's had a great dialogue with the owners and everything. But what exactly is happening there, and why hasn't he been extended yet? When you look at his body of work,
is he getting traded?
Is it possible?
I don't see him getting traded. I think that the Wilf family is going to want to hold on to him. He's going to be entering the last year of his deal. I think teams that have coaches who they've identified as their future don't typically let guys go into the last year of their deal. And so I would imagine at some point in the coming days, weeks, whatever it may be, that the Wilf family and Kevin O'Connell sit down and figure out an extension. Now, they didn't get one done this season, and to me, the price on Kevin O'Connell rose because of the type of year that he had and because of the type of recognition that I think everybody showered on him. They see the kind of person he is, and they see the kind of impact he's had and the culture he's created. And I think we all know how important that is for any head coach in the NFL, and he's done that there in Minnesota, and I expect that he's going to be rewarded for it this offseason.
What's a going rate for a high-end NFL coach? Is that like 10 to 15 million a year?
Well, I mean, look, I think the salary make gross generalizations, but I think typical first-year salaries have been about $8 million, $9 million. I think guys in the middle tier, 11, 12, 13, and then the top tier, we're talking about 17, 18, $19 million a year, $20 million a year.
So Kevin O'Connell's getting 17 to 20 million a year.
Yes.
Like that's
I don't know. Listen, he's going to get as much as he can get. I don't know. His last deal, his first deal, I think, if my memory serves me correct, he's under 8. Like I'm going to guess he's around 7. So the next deal, I think, would get him in the I don't know, the low teens, maybe? A 10. Like, the Wilfs may be watching this and be like, what? Is he out of his mind? But you know what?
If he's out of
Kevin
his
O'Connell
mind,
wants to play it out.
17, 18. There's a lot of open jobs right now. Kevin O'Connell. You're talking about Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson. You know who number 3 would be? Kevin O'Connell.
He'd be number 1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that would be.
Well, here's what you have to figure. If the Wilfs don't step up and give him what we all would agree in an objective way is a fair offer, then Kevin O'Connell could say, I'm not going to sign that. And then he goes into the last year of his contract, and he's a coaching free agent next year. And if you're a coaching free agent,
do it.
What would Kevin O'Connell get on the open market? If you're asking me, I would say Kevin O'Connell would get
20.
Well, first of all, we have to see how next year goes. But if he had the kind of season next year that he did this past year, my guess is Kevin O'Connell's in the $12 to $14 million a year range.
Okay.
Bump that up.
Sounds like you're trying to help out the Wolf family here publicly, and I respect that. I appreciate what you're doing here. This guy's he won 14 games this season with a quarterback getting paid $13 million who's never had success before. Year before that, he had a Pastronaut playing quarterback. Well, it's like, that guy's the guy.
Won 13 a couple years ago.
And then we see the clip of him in the locker room chewing out his team, too. It's like, this guy.
Well, listen, I'm a huge Kevin O'Connell. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. He's one of the best installers of culture. But again, well, I don't want to. I'm not going to make a debate on it. I'm just telling you that's my opinion. That's all I'm going to say. I think that's the open market. That's what I think he gets.
I like that.
I'm not going to start stating why he wouldn't get the top price because I'm a huge Kevin O'Connell. That's what I think it would be.
Okay, so yeah, Shefty's like, I'm not going to start negotiating against Kevin O'Connell here publicly. I'm just letting you know, after my 30 years of experience in this business, this is what
35.
Yeah, okay, sorry. All right, well, Kevin O'Connell, go get it, bro.
Yeah, go get it.
20 mil, Kev.
You deserve
That's
it,
it. Go get it. Hey, get what's fair. That's all I'm saying for everybody, right? Everybody should get what's fair.
All parties, how we all win. And also, Kevin O'Connell, I think, takes a lot of pride in the fact that he's been able to do this with the Minnesota Vikings. I think he loves that organization. I think he's very appreciative. Brian Flores being a defense coordinator is a big deal with that entire thing. He might be gone. How does he fill that spot in? There's a lot of question marks over there. Who's their quarterback? I mean, there is a lot to figure out in Minnesota. The head coach is obviously one of them. Any updates right there? You get an update right there? Is that a news?
Nothing of any significance right now.
Crop news. Absolute crop news.
Update.
Jack Del Rio's coaching in Paris.
Yep.
Is that what you just?
Good luck.
Is that the text that you just got? A little bit of
I knew that one was going to send shockwaves through the NFL ecosystem. I knew that.
Just a little dust up over there.
Yep.
Good luck against Ryan Fire and Tom Sula.
From what we know
I'm
about
telling
Jack,
you right now.
Go ahead.
I got my Paris Musketeers jersey. I am ready to rock it this up.
Well, when you go over there, you're going to need your nose plugs too, because those people smell so bad. They need one of these, not 1,000 of these.
Yeah.
Jack Del Rio is going to be praying to God that Dove sends 1 million whole body DOs over there. Great, beautiful culture. Beautiful culture.
Beautiful
city.
Beautiful city.
Beautiful.
Got a chance to go over there. Obviously love it. But boy, your nose really starts talking to your brain saying this place stinks because it actually does. Jack Del Rio, everything we know about him, dust up and all that, I don't know how it's going to fit.
He's perfect for
I'm excited for him, though. More football overseas is great for the game. Thankful that he's doing it. Good luck over there. To your point, though, the Rhine Fire are a problem.
Yeah, Jim Tom Sula, I believe they won back-to-back.
What?
Yeah, dog.
The Chiefs over there.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Currently, they do it first time since the Amsterdam Admirals with Adam Vinatieri go 3 straight. I mean, that's a whole story in of itself. The EuroLeague was sick.
It was.
That was awesome.
Might have his juice back.
Yeah, maybe. Especially if Jack Del Rio's going over. Sorry, we're taking up all your time
When's
here.
Jim Tom Sula getting another crack?
Mostly because I think they decided he's just going overseas. Let's just keep his ass overseas. We found where he's at. Let's come back to America. Let's go to a town that built all the other towns.
Well,
bingo. Steel.
All of them.
Steel.
The home of steel. You see your building? You're welcome.
won't go that
From Pittsburgh. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, earlier this week you were on, and I believe you told us the quote where Tomlin said he imagines change coming on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
Know how much change we've had so far? 0.
Donuts.
Now,
Tone,
I don't
it's a
want to
few
call.
days.
Huh?
A few days, Tone. It's a few days.
I don't want to call
days.
for anyone's job, but when are the heads
But
going to
you are.
roll?
You know what? Again, the offseason's young. Let's give this some time. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but the head coach himself said what he said. I mean, I just think he was speaking in a general term. Like, I'm not expecting major changes. Like, what do we think is going to happen? I think it's typical of any roster. In any given year, turns over. however much it does. There are some changes on the coaching staff. Like, I don't know that it's going to be any more dramatic in Pittsburgh than it is anywhere else. Like, the head coach is back, the GM's back, the owner's back. We have 2 quarterbacks who are free agents. That's a big question mark going forward. You got a running back who's a free agent.
2 of them.
Who's been very good. Who do you want to fire?
Everyone.
Tone?
Everyone.
Okay.
Top to bottom.
Tone wants like transfer portal, NIL. I need 50 new guys in here.
Yep.
That's what Tone wants. TJ can stay. Gonna have to figure that out. He's actually on his final year of his contract. Gonna have to figure that whole thing out. There's a couple other guys we don't mind.
Trade for Josh Allen, too.
I don't know if Bean's going to do that. But that's where the Pittsburgh Steelers fans are. They're like, hey, something drastic has to happen. We were told something drastic is going to happen. And every time they wake up and nothing has happened, they get more mad. That's the ends of football. That's how it is. And then they're going to go in the next season believing they could potentially win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be about 5-6 weeks in, and they're going to go, we're so fucking stupid. We thought this was going to work yet again. Yada, yada. That's the cycle. That is the cycle of Steelers fans. And I can feel it for him, too, because Colts haven't won the AFC South in more than 10 years, 11 years now. Haven't even danced and played, haven't even had a chance. And they've paid people at every position. People are going through their second contracts here in this culture and haven't won fucking anything, okay? So a lot of people are wondering what the hell is going on. Next year, I think, is the year. I think it is the year. But I don't think Colts fans are even like envious of like Steelers fans. Like they make it into the playoffs, they have a winning season every single year, and then they get dumped. So their draft picks are always,
Shite.
I don't want to say crop because it's still a first rounder, but it's never really good. It's not enough failure to make any changes, wholesale changes. Just kind of got to put some Band-Aids on. But I think you guys are going to figure it out this offseason.
I agree. I think
there's
so,
a lot happening this potential offseason, including a friend of ours, Shefty. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, on Wednesday, we had Dan Orlovsky on the show, and in so many words, he basically said, hey, listen, coaching is my calling. I'm ready to kind of throw my hat into the ring here and see what's going on. Have you heard his name heating up at all in terms of quarterback coach openings, offensive coordinator openings, or anything like that? Because, like I said, he basically said, hey, your time is up, my time is now. I'm ready.
That's John Cena, what he just said there, basically.
Yeah, I think Dan's been talking to some teams and seeing if there's something that interests him and is worthwhile for him. I'll let him answer that right now.
Well, he did. Yes, he did a full coaching interview on our show, start breaking it all down. And then after our show, he said, I did get a text from another team and another potential coaching candidate saying, hey, am I being real? It does feel like he's being serious this time. I don't know if that's because of what's going on TV business-wise or if this is just another year of thinking about it. It feels like...
I think Dan aspires to be a head coach in time, and that's what he'd like to do. And so he's been talking to people to see if there's a spot that would work for him. And it's not automatic. He does a great job on TV, and obviously he could stay in TV and do that for the rest of his career if that's what he wanted. But I think at his core, I think he misses being a part of a football team. And if the right football team came along and spoke his language and said the right things and presented the right opportunity, I think he'd go be a quarterback's coach, with the idea that he would try to start moving up the coaching ladder in time. I think he's 41. I think he'd like to be a head coach here, like a lot of people in the coming years. And at some point in time, he'd like to start moving up that career. So, again, we'll see how he handles it, his life, whether he wants to do TV or coaching. But it sounds like he's going to have opportunities to join football teams if that's what he wants.
Oh, what is it? Is that Dan Orlovsky saying, keep my name out of your mouth?
Definitely, John.
Is that what that was? Don't you talk about me and my family.
Is he not on the NFL Live team?
Yeah, that's what when he said he wants to be a part of a team the other day, I'm like, I'm so lucky that we have this.
Yeah.
Where we do feel like we're part of a team.
Oh, that is Dan.
There is some. What is that? Is that Dan Orlovsky or is that a team saying, is Dan Orlovsky being for real? We want to make him our OC.
Nope. Nope.
But
it's real. You're still looking.
Certainly something.
What was it?
Tweet it, then say it.
Yeah, you could tweet it to your whole fucking song and dance.
Thanks, Pat.
We'll read your Twitter. We'll do the whole thing. No
tweets coming. No incoming tweets.
Huh.
What was that? That seemed like you were pretty joyful, though. Did somebody send you a picture or something like that?
Something happening.
Just something.
Oh! It's something, just something season.
Yep.
It's just something season. Was that related to work right there?
No, not NFL.
Not NFL. College ball. Deion Sanders. Is that what that is? High school football.
You know,
Jason Witten.
Dan might not be the only one who has people talking to you about joining a team. I'm just telling you.
Okay, you're gonna do the Woj? You're gonna do the Woj? You're gonna go be a general manager of a college football team? What a move that would be by you, just wheeling and dealing. And let me tell you this: if there's any college teams that are offering you any position in the football world, before you sign anything to anybody, we at West Virginia would like to chat with you. Okay,
Sure.
we would like to potentially get your resources into Morgantown if you're going to go anywhere. Your family would love living on Sheet Lake.
It's the best.
Oh my God, it would be fantastic. Nonetheless, last thing here, and we know we're taking up a lot of your Friday, so we appreciate you joining us. So, Bloomberg. Roger Goodell did a Bloomberg article, and there's a lot of things that came out of it. Pro Football Talks' Mike Florio was talking about the 18-game season being the logical next step. Obviously, this is not the first time that Roger Goodell has chatted about this. If you could take a minute 15 with us here, Schefter, to hear the conversation that I had with Raj at the NFL draft, and then give us your thoughts afterwards, we'd be very grateful. Run it, Foxy.
Now, the NFLPA is always going to fight against having more games. Is there a plan to continue to expand? Because 17 games feels good now. Like at the beginning, I think a lot of players, and I don't want to talk for in the locker room, there's probably a lot of offensive linemen and things like that are telling me to shut the hell up. But as fans, it's like 17 games has just become like status quo. Is there a thought of adding another one, maybe adding another bye week so we can get more exposure, more TV deals, or are we good at 17 right now?
Well, I think we're good at 17 now. But listen, we're looking at how we continue. I'm not a fan of the preseason. I don't think we need
waste of time, right? And energy.
I don't buy it, and I don't think these guys like it either.
Well, they have to spend full price for the tickets for those games.
No, they're actually discounted now.
We just thank you for doing
we
that.
got that done.
Thank you.
Sorry, our commission.
That's our commission.
Thank you, commission.
But the reality is, I think I'd rather replace a preseason game with a regular season any day. That's just picking quality, right? So if we got to 18-2, that's not an unreasonable thing. The other thing it does, which I thought you were going to, is that ends up on President's Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend, which makes the Sunday night, and then you have Monday off. So that's
wow.
Now we're cooking.
See,
now we're cooking.
Okay, so he said he already has visions of what the schedule would look like. We'd have Monday off after the Super Bowl, which everybody has been yearning for a long, long time. He said, I don't like the preseason game, okay? It's more opportunity for injuries. It doesn't matter. So shortening the preseason game seems like it's been on Goodell's mind for a while. Adding the 17th game, as soon as it happens, we all said, well, we're going to get to 18 then. He said in a Bloomberg article, now it's being reported about yet again. What have you heard from around the league, and what do you think the chances are moving, and when would that be? Next CBA?
Well, in all honesty, did he say anything there that we didn't know? Like, again, I'm going to tell you right, it's going to happen. Exactly what he said. Like, everybody knows this is coming. We're going to get 18 games. We're going to get the Sunday night Super Bowl before President's Day. Everybody takes off President's Day, becomes the national holiday that it is. The shortened this is stuff that everybody's talked about. The only question is, when does it begin? Right? Like, is that in 2 years? Is it right before the end of the CBA? Is it right at the start of the new CBA? I don't know, but 18-game schedule season's coming. The prolonged seasons come, more international games come. Like, all these, Pat, there's nothing here that's surprising at all, right? And what am I missing?
Well, I mean, actually confirming it would be it's all been like kind of in jest hypothetical. If the NFL,
it's coming.
The NFL are those greedy corporate fat cats. Yeah. And if you add an extra bye week, now you got 2 more weeks of primetime games to be able to sell to networks. And the amount of money that'll do and bring in for the salary cap, which is how they sell it to the players and everybody else, would be gigantic. So I could see it certainly taking place.
Sold. Not selling. Sold. It's coming.
Okay, all right. I don't know how the players feel about it. How about the NFLPA is firing or laying off 150 employees? How many fucking employees they got over there?
That's crazy.
Too many.
Who's taking all the damn money at the NFLPA? I've never been an NFLPA supporter. Okay, never in my life. I thought they've been like, I'm not going to say crooks, but like dumb. I think the way they've gone about doing things has been very dumb. I mean, you just go back to whenever they tried to negotiate the deal, and Jeff Saturday had to step in and be like, let's get a deal done. Not that Jeff Saturday isn't a great man or businessman, but it's like the NFLPA, I think, has always handled things in a dumb way. Tough position to be in, hard to represent everybody. Them firing 150 people, it's like, what did they all do? And then also, shout out to this NFLPA maybe.
Yeah.
Trying to, instead of rob the players, trying to actually make the players more money, more opportunity. I think we're in a good spot. I think I think NFLPA and hopefully Commish are going to be able to come together and make this entire better for players and also for the league as a whole. Quick one there. You just talked about international games. Connor has one for you.
Yeah, Shefty, Madrid this year. Does that mean Ireland's probably coming in 2026 next season, or is there a chance that they also do Ireland for the first time and Spain for the first time this year?
I don't know when Ireland's coming, but it's coming. I don't know whether it's 25 or 26, but it's coming. There's just been enough. And I think it might be next season, and they still have some more international announcements to make. They do it in layers and in a progression, and so Ireland still may be coming. The Dolphins will play the first ever regular season game in Madrid. We got Berlin. The Colts playing the first regular season game in Berlin. The first regular season game in Ireland is coming. I don't know the exact timing, but it's coming. And we've even heard that it'll be the Steelers and Packers, which I totally believe. That's totally plausible. It's coming. I'm not sure the exact year.
I'm not saying that Madrid doesn't deserve it, okay? Because I'm sure that they are massive NFL fans. When we were with DAZN, that was a big hotbed for the NFL licensing rights over there in Spain. Ireland would be bananas over there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They love ball. And there's more Irish guys coming into the NFL, I think, through punting and kicking. It's only going to continue to grow over there. We're excited for that. We're excited for the future, and we're appreciative of you stopping by on this Feel Good Friday, Shefty.
Gentlemen, appreciate you all. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the divisional playoff round. 4 great games. Looking forward to watching the games in the cold. It'll be fun.
Any news potentially breaking today? Anything?
Zay Flowers didn't practice today. That's not a great sign for his availability on Sunday night against the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
And Jeremy Fowler just reported Joe Thuney starting at left tackle for the Chiefs, so they're sticking with him at left tackle. That's interesting. Right where we are right now.
Any news coming?
There's always news coming, Pat.
Any good news coming though?
Like
talkable news.
Worthy.
We got a couple hours left here.
I can't predict the future. I'm not Nostradamus. I don't know.
Call O's.
Yeah, why don't you call O's? Why don't you do that whole thing? He freaks me out still.
Yeah, no.
He just had a Forbes article done about him.
Well, it's cool.
O's is getting pushed.
Yep.
As he should.
Mm-hmm.
That guy always shows up.
He does.
Always blows minds.
You see his rates?
$10 million I heard he made off Forbes is what it told me, allegedly. He tried to tell me what his rate was whenever we tried to get him at the draft, and that was a full-on, okay, we're not doing that. that is not how this is going to go. You know, we got to work this thing out. He did good business with me, which I appreciate. His people did good business with me, but, like, if you're looking for somebody to blow the mind of in anything, I mean, that's an easy. Whatever he's charging, if you got it, 100% worth it.
Yep.
For this demon to come into town and just ruin everything.
I will say this: of all the times I've been with him, of all the times I've traveled around with him, he's never not blown my mind. Did I tell you? Did I tell you what happened with my father-in-law when we came back last year? Did I tell you that story on here? I don't know if I did or I
You
did.
got 30 seconds if you want to retell it, though.
So basically, you're coming back. We come back from Pittsburgh together. He just performed for the Bills. He comes to my house. My father-in-law, 85 years old. He's, what do you do? I'm mentalist. Okay. He goes, do a trick on me. He goes, okay, where did you grow up? The Bronx. Okay, I'm going to tell you the name of your neighbor. He goes, how do you know the name of my neighbor? He goes, does it have a B in it? Yeah, and he guesses the name of his neighbor and the apartment number of my father-in-law.
Yeah.
My father-in-law was like totally fine. Like, how could that be?
I don't know.
He's a freak.
He's done some stuff to us, too, where it's like he walked up to me, 1 through 100, thinking in your head right now, and then bang, 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 boom, got it, nailed it. Goes up to Darius J. Butler, scrolls through his phone, through Darius Butler, picks a name in there. There's some things where it's like, I think I got him, and then there's other stuff where it's like, this guy's a demon.
Yeah, how?
We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter. We'll be back in hour
weekend, guys.
2.
Enjoy the game.
AJ Hawk and more convo.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those. Essentially, like it's
Dan. Another farting Dan Orlovsky situation just took place.
What do you mean? It's unbelievable.
Your butt was just talking, okay?
I did not fart.
Dan. This is 2 times now, Dan. This is the Orlovsky thing.
You guys being serious right now, or are you messing with me?
Dan, listen to this clip. This is you just moments ago.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those. Essentially, like it's
Dan.
I mean, undeniable.
You guys definitely just freaking idiots.
We swear. We swear.
You guys
swear. We swear.
No way.
So no one did that then. What did you eat?
I haven't even ate two guys.
Hey, if I were you right now, I'd go grab some food.
My wife texted me. She said, "Oh my gosh, McAfee Show, I'm dead." I go, "Babe, I promise you on everything, I did not fart."
Who runs your Twitter account?
AB.
I do.
What's this all about? I would like to know, in that situation where your butthole started talking, what did I do?
I'm here to be serious with you, man.
What are you, chucking a glass of milk, eating some fruit over there, get you some coffee, get that butthole a little bit more active?
I haven't ate. I'm eating yogurt. I have 1,000 text messages right now of people going, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, I just wanted to have like a quiet Tuesday.
I don't even know why we're going to have another hour. Maybe run that clip.
Yeah. On loop.
We have the video. Shams, let's let you judge here.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
I need to hear the context. I want to give our guy...
Oh, Shams, shut up! He said it sounded like a fart.
What did AJ vote?
It's a fart all day long, Kirk. You know that.
Has anybody voted no?
Dan.
I'll be the captain of Team No today.
We need you to do a tie-breaking vote. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
There's no doubt. I mean, I like how he just kept on going right there.
When he was talking, he didn't even break stride as that thing came out. He went and got the buggy, went to the store, grabbed some dude wipes to wipe those ass cheeks, just like I assume you do as well, Cabal.
You have to go dry, wet, dry. Toilet paper, white toilet paper. If not, you're really risking the rest of the day having the swamp ass. You know, Dan Orlovsky, man, he got to accept that, man. He got to wear that with a pride. One thing that really bothers me when people do not take credit for it. You know, if somebody says, "Oh, that was you that farted," I get upset when it wasn't me. I'm like, no, when have I ever not claimed it when it was mine? You should claim it.
But all those airports, people are traveling today, looking up at the ESPN. Dan Orlovsky farts. What's wrong with this guy?
The closed captioning person, whoever it is, they got it. I believe it said inaudible, muffled, and it said Dan fart.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, January 17, 2025. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football! It is wonderful. We're lucky to talk about it. The divisional round of the NFL kicks off tomorrow, and then the national championship for college ball is on Monday. We're incredibly pumped and lucky to be a part and chit-chat about all of it. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor wearing a 7X and at Ty Schmidt. You look great, Con, man. Watch you get up during a break and take a walk. It is like you have a dress on. I think that was the first time that I've seen the... just kind of, what are those things? Poncho.
Yeah, sure.
It looks like you're kind of wearing a poncho with how big that jersey is.
Yeah, we were talking about before the show. I mean, I'm going to be sure cocking this thing on game day for the rest of my life, without a doubt. I'm very excited about this thing. It's a prized possession of mine. I would compare it to the Pasta jersey, and yeah, there's a chance I bring a couple booms in this thing going forward as well.
They put out their best one yet.
Yes, they did.
I'm a little bit worried.
Don't.
You can say it.
Don't. No, you
say
can't. Because you're wrong.
I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say.
Okay, thank God.
What I'm going to say is, you know, it was Lil Costco's birthday the other day?
No.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
I missed it.
I scrolled through well, they had like 100 people, including like Mr. Beast and a bunch of other people, videoing, happy birthday, Lil Costco, the whole thing. We were not asked. I feel like they think we're potentially not, as in, we're judging them properly.
Thought they were.
When you bury Texas Roadhouse, obviously we're going to have some opinions.
Have to.
But whenever we're bringing the bone to you, Yeah, that's just what we do. Yeah, the new one, I mean, this might be the best one yet. Got to make it through about 35 to 40 seconds to really get into the, okay, I see what they're doing there. But I respect any professional wrestler that's got a gimmick, got a family bought in, and then the entire world behind them. I think I saw like 2.5, 3 million views on their most recent heavy metal song.
No big deal.
No, we're talking pop, rap, now metal.
Do it all. Bringing the boom to you.
To you. That's just what we do. We're bringing the boom to you. There it is. Look at it. Boom. I mean, it's the best one. And I don't know the
AMH, that band.
Yeah, I didn't know the band much. Good.
They got talent. Yeah, they are very legit. They cover songs as well. They are awesome.
So you would think at the beginning of that, I was a little bummed out about the band. I'm like, oh, this is some band trying to jock. Trying to get a little rub from the Boom Boys. From the Boom Costco boys. And then you get about a minute in, you're like, oh, band. Really good.
Legit.
And the singer has a great.
He does.
Like he's like a Jack Black. He almost seems like a Jack Black pitch. It's like AMH got a fan out of me from Boom.
Funny enough, they actually do cover a Pick of Destiny song, POD, Jack Black, and it like you said, I think Jack Black's actually in the song with them. It was a little collab, like he came and did it with them as well.
It makes sense.
They are very good.
As I was listening to it, I'm like, damn, real talent. I have no idea these people existed, but that's just what they do. We're bringing the boom to you. That's a banger.
It is. Yeah. And Rizzler kills his verse.
One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. Tone, what are the lines on the weekend? Pretty big. 8, 9, 6.5, and 1. Have any of those moved, or are they all about big?
They've all pretty much stayed the same from yesterday. The Eagles line has moved a bit up to 6.5. That one was 5.5 earlier in the week. That's the only one that's really moved a ton. Yeah, the big lines on Saturday, a little bit smaller on Sunday, but for a divisional weekend, yeah, those are quite large.
8.5, 9.5, especially if you think about the weather in Kansas City, you would think that game might be tight. But then also, you could see Patrick Mahomes doing this one in this weekend. There's some stats coming out about Patrick Mahomes in divisional round.
Boy.
This dude gets a break, gets a chance to recalibrate. This is his divisional round operation resume. 6-0, and then 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. It's like Patrick Mahomes is obviously a superstar. And, you know, they say big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Patrick Mahomes has done that. The divisional round has been a cakewalk for this guy. He's been able to figure teams out. Now, last year they didn't have home field advantage, so they had to go on the road. They had to play in the divisional round. A lot of the times, or in the wild card round, a lot of times they don't have to, so they have 2 weeks. Andy Reid's record with 2 weeks preparation and a week coming off a bye week, also very, very good, which is why they're so damn dangerous in the playoffs. And also, you know, this is the worst team that they've had. I think it's the worst season yet. Number 1 seed, best record in the entire NFL. Winning games however they do it. The Chiefs is still the Chiefs. 8.5, 9.5, 6.5. Those are big numbers across the board. Sportsbooks don't think this is going to be very close. Joining us now is a man who's been seeing the board pretty well. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, a man who has a tree on the campus of the Ohio State University because he was an All-American and he's all Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawker. Oh.
Hawker, 8.5, 9.5, 6.5. Those are big spreads for divisional weekend when there's only 8 teams left, brother.
Yeah, this does feel like a bunch of points. As you pop that graphic up, I'm trying to figure out exactly what my final picks will be when we do make the picks for this weekend. But yeah, like when you show Patrick Mahomes' record, though, in the divisional round, that's a bit daunting, I think, if you're an opponent. But, hey, the Texans are up for the task. Let's see if they can figure it out. But, man, this dude is good.
Yeah, and, I mean, that's not even the biggest spread of the weekend. You know, you got the 9.5, obviously, coming second game of Saturday, and that's Detroit Lions favored at home against this Washington Commanders team, who we all just assumed that the Commanders fans would be A-okay if they lose this game. Like, we're way ahead of schedule. We got brand new ownership. We got a new stadium coming. We got a rookie quarterback. Obviously, Scary Terry's still here, but whole new operation. The fact that we even won a wild card game, all right, we're happy going into the offseason. We can build on this. We know what our culture is. We know what our team is. Inside that locker room, they're not saying that.
No.
Inside the Washington Commanders locker room, they're saying, hey, this could be our year. We have no idea if this is ever going to show up again. We have no clue if we're going to be in divisional round. You got to take advantage of every opportunity. All the OGs that are in that building are trying to let the young bucks know, like Jaden Daniels, like, hey, this is not an every year thing. This is very difficult to get to this situation. There's only 8 teams left in the entire NFL. 25% of the teams still playing. 75% planning their trips to Cancun. Got to take advantage of this. So the fans, I think, would be okay if the Commanders lose this game and it's like, well, we had a good year. We got something started. In the locker room, they're not saying that. 9.5 points is a lot of points for a playoff game, no matter who they're playing or where they're playing them. But this Detroit Lions team has not played with their food.
No.
The Detroit Lions have pummeled people, and they've been happy about it, too. Like, the standard's the standard. This is how we play. If you don't want us scoring and dancing, don't let us score or dance then. Like, that is how the Detroit Lions are, even though they're a tough physical team.
100%.
They've been beating the shit out of teams all year long.
100%. I think they'll beat the shit out of them tomorrow. If they do what Lombo said, they got to control the tempo, ground and pound football, run the ball, control the clock, and then you cannot let Jaden Daniels run wild. And us having that bye week, I think, was absolutely huge because our bye week in the regular season was like week 5 or week 6, so those guys needed to get healthy, although we do not have Zeitler at guard. That's going to be a killer.
Okay, that is a big deal, especially with how dominant the offensive line has been and how important that offensive line is, especially middle of the pocket for Jared Goff, because, you know, his, I don't want to say old, what people used to call him Jared Goof.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever there was pressure up there, we didn't say that. We were just observing, reporting.
That's what they were saying.
That's what people were saying. If that pressure's up the middle, we start getting a little happy feet. All of a sudden now, the offense isn't a fine-tuned machine like it has been all year.
Couldn't agree more, and we have a rookie filling in that space. They love this rookie, Christian Mahogany out of Boston College.
Mahogany Wood.
He actually scored a touchdown in college. He did a keg stand celebration.
MCDC saw that and said, I'll tell you what, man. Yeah. Offensive lineman doing a keg stand. How many of that is there? Quentin Nelson did that, right? Penei Sewell probably did that. Give me that guy. Yes. We don't know if he can play. He can.
He can, man.
We know he can. Have you ever done a keg stand, by the way? Not easy. Because you got to have pretty good shoulders, hold yourself up. Also, you're pretty capacitated, so you know you're going to be a little bit off. You got to have good teammates, too, though. You know, whoever's holding and got your legs. That's a keg stand actually pretty important to showcase the team around you. And how much do they like this big guy? Well, he's gigantic, and the boy said, let me go ahead and get it. Let me go ahead and get you. Awesome. That was a quick little 4 or 5 seconder. Obviously not going to turn any heads at a party, but certainly going to let people know you're down for a good time. And I respect and appreciate that. Age, I assume when you went up for keg stands back in the day, the boys got a little bit riled up.
Yeah, you know, you always need to have good teammates when it comes to that. You can't have some 125-pound dude on each leg saying, don't worry, bud, I got you, because you know you want to get up there a while. You want to put on a decent performance, I guess, if you're going to do it.
You know, I think I was pretty naive to the whole thing. I just assumed that if you're hosting a keg party, you wanted people to do keg stands.
Yeah.
Do you remember when people used to like stand in front of their kegs and be like, no, we're not doing keg stands here. You know, it's just house only is allowed to do keg stands. It's like, all right, why don't you get out of the way and let me put on a show for the people.
Come on.
I'm going to stand upside down for like 30 seconds here. It's going to be good for everybody. You won't put your mouth all over our what's that thing called?
The pump?
Tap.
Yeah, there it is. You remember when Mitt tapped that?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
my
St.
God.
Patrick's Day.
St. Pat.
Green beer, yeah.
Just right
Almost
in his,
lost the
I know
line.
how to do it.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I got it.
I do this all the time with my buddies.
And we're like, we believe it.
Yeah.
We believe it.
Exactly.
What it turns out was it wasn't Mitt, it was the buddies that were doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not everybody's a good tapper either. Like there is.
It's a skill.
There's a skill.
Yeah.
There's a confidence you got to go. Because if you half-ass it all, that thing's.
That's when it's,
Yeah, you got to go full speed.
Yeah, you got to go all in on that thing. So you got a keg stander at guard. I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah, AQ said he's good. He's just no Kevin Zeitler. That was his breakdown.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but AQ said the Philadelphia Eagles are number 1 offensive line in the playoffs left. And then he said, but they're the 6th team out of 8 teams left. It's like, well, how much does the offensive line matter then, AQ? It's kind of going against everything we've been pitching all. I got mad about it.
Your entire thing here, buddy,
Has
is that
been-
the offensive line wins
But
games.
he just clearly hates the quarterback.
Yep. And Kellen Moore, who might be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if you heard Adam Schefter talk about Paul McCartney's brother. Mike could potentially have a gig somewhere else after leaving the Dallas Cowboys. But that Cowboys job, we'll be talking to Pac-Man here in about 19 minutes or so. He is very close with Coach Prime. So I'm excited to hear what he thinks. I'm not saying he's talked to him yet, but I am excited to hear how he thinks it's all going to play out down there. Kellen Moore potentially going down there. Salah getting interviewed. Leslie Frazier. I heard the name Anthony Lynn, which I don't think anybody would have expected to get a head coaching job this soon, but he has obviously had one time at it. wasn't great. Got a chance to continue to coach. Great running back in the day. Everybody loves him, the whole thing. Maybe he gets another opportunity. How do you see his Dallas Cowboys situation kind of shaping up for Jerry Jones, old Lamb man?
I think it's the most interesting gig to take out of all of them, because I want to know if these guys going in, like, are they asking Jerry and the whole crew, whoever's doing the interviews, are they asking questions like, okay, maybe it hasn't worked, as of, the last 15, 20 years, like you guys haven't gotten over the hump and gotten another Super Bowl. Like, how, I guess you got to ask what the structure is like, how much power you're going to have, and how much, like, what does Jerry want? Does Jerry want an old grizzled vet in there that maybe he can't persuade as much, or does he want a younger person that he can kind of control and let him know, like, hey, I'm still the boss, I still make the final decision on things? Like, I bet that's got to be big questions with these coaches.
Yeah, so like Kellen Moore potentially not asking those questions, is one of the reasons why maybe that would be the desired hire for the Dallas Cowboys. Anytime you go into a family business, you got to do your research, start asking questions.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Hey, who's going to have say in this particular? Who is going to have say in this particular? What has this person done other than be in your family? In that whole, you got to have those questions to get those answers if you're going to be an outsider going into a family business. Because if you're somebody that wants to see something go a certain way in the family, whether it's one member, even if it's not the most important member, they're going to have more together than you could ever catch up to having. Like, that's just a matter of fact. You're never going to be able to become a full-time member of the Jones family. Jason Garrett was close.
Very close.
Which is why it took so long for him to get fired. Allegedly was a report outside. But if you listen to Jerry in his one-and-done monologue that he did in Landman, and Lombardi pointed this out. Lombardi's like, you listen to that, and the reason why he was able to cry is because he was talking literally from his personal experience. It's like, that's a family-run business. That is how that is. And if you're coming in there, you're coming into their world. You're coming into their house to kind of operate. So Kellen Moore, first opportunity, super young. He's already been down there. He's liked by the Jones family. He's liked by Dak. He also might not be like, I don't want to do it the same old Jones way. I don't think he's going to say that. Prime now, Prime's already run a successful operation, a program, already built some things. He is friends with the Jones family. We all assume he's very familiar with the Dallas Cowboys operation. Like, will he come in and be like, hey, Mr. Jones, we can't be doing this the same way that we've been doing this? And like, is that something that they're okay with? Jason Witten, same exact thing. Bob Saleh just left a family business. Okay, and the New York Jets just got fired from a family business in New York Jets. And he potentially, we learned about the Brick Johnson stuff after Saleh was gone. But what all happened with Coach Saleh in that entire situation? Does he want to sign it? I'm not saying Jerry Jones Jr., Triple J, or Stephen Jones or Brick Johnson at this point. And I'm not saying Brick Johnson can't go on to be a great owner at some point. He's 17 years old. He doesn't know shit about anything at this stage of life, even though he's been around football, since his dad has owned the team. But it's like, Saleh understands what it's like to go into a family business. Is that going to carry into his decision making? And I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to just say any job's a great job, which is kind of what Schefter has alluded to a couple times. Yes, there's only 32 of these. We've already seen Ben Johnson say, I'm not going to go anywhere. And there's a chance Ben Johnson still decides to come back to Detroit knowing that there's going to be a head coaching opportunity for him inevitably whenever he wants it.
Yeah, I've had a theory that he watches MCDC lead these men every single day, and he says, I can't do that. I'm a great OC. I'm going to score a million
Why are you
points.
burying Ben
and
Johnson?
He stays in Detroit. Well, I want him to stay in Detroit forever. I want to score a million touchdowns
so you want
forever.
you want him to hear Lions fans burying him, thinking that he ain't got it? Jeez, that's just like Devontae. Couldn't do it without Aaron. Is that what you're trying to... Jeez,
I just want to score points, and I love Ben Johnson. He can do that.
Yeah, and Aaron Glenn, he said, is going to get a job too. It's like, what if Aaron Glenn, same exact thing, he's like, defensive head coaches, got to go to the right spot. You don't go to the right spot, you're kind of kicked out to the curb. Maybe Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson both say, I'd rather stick around here, continue to build what we're building, and Sheila Ford Hamp maybe kicks him into a little bit more money to kind of build that thing up. Cliff Kingsbury over there in Washington, been a head coach before, obviously doing this with the offense. Does he want to jump back into the saddle of being a head coach and deal with bullshit, or does he potentially want to continue to kind of build what they're doing in Washington for the first time in a long time? And maybe he has Josh Harris, Magic Johnson, all of the ownership over there saying, hey, you give me an extra $1 million, this is an easy decision for me to make, and also an easy decision for me to explain to friends and family that might not be thrilled that I'm turning down these jobs. I think in 2025, there's a lot more of that potential opportunity than it had been in the past, but who knows? We shall see how it all plays out.
Well, I think you made the important distinction to Shefty, too, when he was saying, like, hey, the Cowboys' job is still very, very alluring because it's one of 32, but you basically said, like, I don't know if anyone who hasn't either been a part of the Star or have a previous relationship with Jerry Jones is going to take that job. And then he mentioned like 4 guys, but 4 of those guys, with the exception of Saleh, had either worked with Jerry in the past or like kind of knew what they were getting into. Like you said it, I don't think there's any way that Saleh's going to go down there and get into the same situation. Deion seems like maybe the only guy who would be able to push back on Jerry a little bit and kind of, make it his own a little bit. But then you also look at all these other guys, like 50% of their salary cap is going to be tied up in 3 players. So it's like, if you're a new coach coming in, how alluring is that, where it's like, I really am not even going to be able to, and again, who knows how much roster control any of these guys are going to have, but you're not really going to be able to get your fingerprints on that roster that much because they're paying 3 guys so much money, and they're going to be there for probably the full extent of when you're the head coach.
Okay, so let's talk about teams that are left as opposed to teams that are trying to figure out what next season looks like. Houston Texans obviously have to travel to play the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, looking to do something that no team in the modern era has done, win 3 straight Super Bowls. It's obviously going to be cold as hell. Here's D'Amico Ryans chit-chatting about the weather.
The weather can be a challenge if you allow it to be a challenge. For me and for our guys, it's something we can't control. We don't control the weather. I can't tell you. Wherever we have to play, we're ready to go play. We understand we'll be on the road. It's going to be cold.
Oh, my God.
That's what we have to deal with. And it's not a challenge for us. It's just something the other team has to deal with as well. So we're ready to go. There's no excuses about weather. We got to go suit up and we got to go play ball.
I love that message. Obviously, who controls the weather? Great question by you in the middle of it, AJ. The reason why I said I can't take it is I'm done with people breathing into their fucking phones whenever they're doing this entire thing. I understand we got to get these videos up quickly, and doing it with your cell phone is the easiest way to do as such. Let's just have a little bit of cognizance of the fact that is heard while you're recording in the entire. I'm not saying Aaron did that. It could have been somebody sitting next to him. Sure. But let's just keep our awareness levels up whenever we're doing it. It's just like when Mickey was with that gum. Yeah. It gets a little frustrating. This is starting to happen in the modern era of media a lot more because it's much quicker just to do it on the phone. But these microphones are good. Yeah. These microphones are good. So if you got a little congestion or a little wheezy or whistling from the nose, we can hear it. And some of us, what's it called? What's the thing called? The
phobia?
What's that?
Misophonia.
Misophonia. There it is. 4 different. I have misophonia, and I never knew it was an actual thing. I just remember hating that my dad couldn't chew with his fucking mouth closed my entire life. More than anybody else for some reason. I couldn't take it. I just couldn't. I can't do this. I can't. And it's called misophonia. I guess we're not the only. The breathing, whistling into things, also another one of those little things. So I appreciate Aaron Wilson. I don't think it was him. I assume it was somebody next to him. But let's just be aware of these things.
Or get directional mics.
Yeah, or just
extend that thing a little.
No, or just use
Hold
hand
your nose,
as funnel, opposite direction, or hold your breath.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just don't breathe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pass out if you have to.
Yeah, practice that.
We need the clip. But in that clip, D'Amico Ryans, what he said is what you would hope every single coach would say, right? This is not on us. It's a mindset. It's a mentality. It is a mentality and a mindset till it's not, though, H. And that is, I think they're cut from a different jib than, let's say, the Miami Dolphins. Okay. I assume that the Houston Texans are a little bit different in the way they're constructed and the humans. But if you don't get going early, if it's a bad start early and the Chiefs are rolling, I do think the cold is a nice tag team partner in making people quit and tap out a little bit earlier than maybe they would in the past. So I think starting hot, no pun intended here, starting hot is a big deal for a team whenever they're traveling into the cold-ass weather, AJ.
Yeah, and I look at the bottom there of that Texans-Chiefs game, 11 to 13 mile-an-hour winds. Now, that's not terrible, but that's something. That's absolutely something. If it gets and starts gusting a little bit through that place, if you get down early, then you got to make plays, especially if you got to make big chunk plays and explosive gains over the top. Say you're down 2 scores in the second half or something. That's when I think this cold definitely matters. And you watch it. Like I've talked to guys. I was lucky enough to play in Lambeau Field for 9 years. I talked to guys in the opposing teams after the game sometimes. Like, man, once we were out of it, like the third quarter, we got down 2 or 3 scores. But man, we might as well pack up the bus and get out of here. Like, they want to go. Like, you want to leave when it's that cold. People don't really understand it, but it's true. And for whatever reason, if you get ahead in those games, you see the other team, you can smell that these guys might quit here and shortly if we just go and get another score, get another big stop. And I think it's huge. But if you sit there and you talk about it all the time, like, you can't sit there and talk about the weather all week long. Like, have a plan on what you're going to wear, what cleats you're going to wear, how you're going to try to stay warm when you're not on the field, and then just go play.
Yeah, and you talk about the 11, 13 mile an hour in the cold weather and stuff like that, having to make chunk plays. Special teams, it affects it too. Special teams, it'll certainly affect it. I assume in those cold games, we'll see a lot more returns because the ball will be landing in the landing zone as opposed to being able to blast it out of the end zone, which could obviously be a big part of some of these games. Punting, not easy whenever it's breezy, let alone cold. Cold is obviously difficult because cold weather, makes the outside shell of the ball harder, right? Because it's naturally cold. It's one eating it. But the air bladder inside of a ball, which is what you're pumping up, is still the way it is. So to kick a ball in the cold, you have to crack through this a little bit more. It's inevitably going to slow down the leg speed. It's going to slow down the explosion off of your foot whenever you wrap it. So cold certainly can knock down the distance of kicks, but it also, with the breeze, it can change everything in the punt game. Now, Matt Araiza, punter for the Chiefs, his ball does not travel much from hand to foot. I mean, it is about a foot, I would say. He drops it. He murders the ball.
He booms that thing every time.
I don't know how he does it with his. He drops it pretty low, and then it's just like a quick, and it's
quick pop
gone. He's almost like he's from San Diego. I understand that California, warm climate and everything like that, but like, I feel like he was actually built to be a cold weather, windy punter because he hits a tight ball too. So if you hit a tight ball, that thing's obviously going to go. But this punting thing with the wind and the cold, not only is the ball against you, but the wind being against you, there's a chance we get some shanks. Yeah. And I don't love that at all.
You'd think?
I don't love that one bit.
You think Tommy Dahn's going to be okay too? That might actually be a good punting gamer.
Should be a good battle. Tommy hit one off the inside of his foot last week, I think, which is very rare for Tommy. Very, very rare for him. He hits moon shots, that guy. So does Araiza. And then you go over to Philadelphia, they got some opportunities in that snow to special teams wise. You can take advantage of that snow, with the way the kicks are going to go, maybe lower, maybe slick, so they're scared to commit to a kickoff a little bit more, or a punt a little bit more, or a field goal a little bit more. Obviously, Jake Elliott's used to it and everything like that, but there is a chance this weather affects the third phase, which is special teams as well, all throughout the weekend.
Yeah, Sean McVay's stats also coming out about the Eagles game where if he is on a short week and they're underdogs of 5 or more points, he's like undefeated. So as far as irrelevant stats go, that's kind of the one in this game when it comes to Rams-Eagles.
11-0 overall. Now, did we fact check the Rams bros here? From SB Breakers. That's SB Nation, I assume.
Ooh,
probably.
I'm not sure.
So we assume that's real.
SB Breakers is very good.
Okay,
you guys know I'm not a big fact checker. Okay.
You just brought the fact up though, so
yeah. Well, hashtag stat that.
Hashtag stat that, of course. But I think like this is. Can you mute this, please? Can you mute this, please?
Us too, bro.
Who is it?
SB Breakers.
That was quick.
This guy.
Is that who I think it was?
Yeah, same guy called me twice yesterday in the middle of the show, and then called me afterwards.
SB Breakers?
It's not SB Breakers. If I was to say who that was, like people would be like, let's not name drop like the most powerful, wealthiest person that you could ever.
Donald Trump?
Holy no! It's Joe Biden.
No, this is not a president or future president.
Elon?
This is not Elon. Although,
hold on, let's keep guessing.
Let's get back to this. Let's get back to those two are besties now. I think from what I learned yesterday.
That's good for her.
All the
Zuck?
It feels like all the they're all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that's a bad thing. It's like, okay, yeah, let's get the people that are, figured everything out and want to do shit. No, they're doing it just for self-gain. It's like, maybe.
For what?
Okay, maybe they will be doing that, or maybe they have brains, big ones, and maybe they all want to be like, let's figure out how to make everything better from all parties too. These are from all different parties seemingly wanting to do stuff. I don't want to get into that world because I don't know it enough. But I do appreciate whenever people are like, So let me get this straight. All the successful, smart people are coming together to do stuff. That's bad news. Give me the people that have done nothing but politics. Okay, all right. I don't understand the brains over there. But let's get back to sports, shall we? The weekend's going to be awesome. Then Monday night, National Championship. Notre Dame versus Ohio State. The Buckeyes take on the Fighting Irish. Two old school, traditional powerhouses battle in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Whenever you think about this game, just a few days out, as an Ohio State, I think we got a video thing, right? As an Ohio State Buckeye legend, an Ohio State hero, and former president of Ohio. How do you feel going in? We were talking about this earlier. We've kind of swayed a little bit. It's an 8-point spread, obviously, so that's a big one. They're 8.5, I guess it has gone up to. That seems like the sports book think that Ohio State is too powerful, too strong, too quick, too talented, too much of everything. But I feel like me personally and everybody else thought that every team that Notre Dame has played is going to be too powerful, too quick, too athletic, too everything. And they've just shown up. The shit coming out from behind the scenes of the Notre Dame team, awesome.
Yeah.
Everything you want in a team is seemingly in that Notre Dame locker room and culture that Marcus Freeman is leading. And then I read the Jack Sawyer Players Tribune. I hope you got a chance to read that as well. Everything coming out of that building is everything that you would want in a team, in a culture, in a locker room. How do you see it faring out now that we're on Friday? And what is Ohio State's thoughts, the fans, as we look ahead to the national championship?
Man, I think the fans, I think they're realizing, like, hey, we're finally here. Like, it was a long trek to get to this point, but this is where they're at. And like the thing Jack wrote was really cool to see him write that the week of the biggest game of his life, pretty much. I think people are pretty optimistic and feel really good about Ohio State, but I think they also respect the hell out of Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman and what he's done. Obviously, Marcus played linebacker at Ohio State. He's had a ton of respect as a coach forever, and what he's done with Notre Dame in a short time is unbelievable. So I think that alone has people very, I would say, not like they're not letting their ego run wild. You know, sometimes the team comes in, if they're a favorite, their fan base gets just crazy and they think they have no chance of ever losing and all this. And maybe it's because Ohio State has dropped a few games this year, including the biggest one against Michigan. Maybe that's why they won't let themselves get carried away. But I think very optimistic, very excited actually for Monday night.
I think both these teams are obviously very deserving. Both these teams, in the culture and the cut of their jibs, is exactly what I would want a team that I'm a fan of to have, especially with how we're watching them all kind of come to life in the biggest moments, showing up in the biggest ways for the biggest plays on the biggest stages, all of these guys. So they got it right. I think college football playoff got it right here with these two teams, and I'm excited to watch the fight. We'll be on the call on the sideline, obviously on ESPN2. Speaking of on the call, Tom Brady's going to be on the call for Fox for the next 9 years.
Yeah. How about it?
Oh, yeah.
Tom,
Good.
didn't see
He's
that
committed.
coming.
Obviously, there's been a lot of conversation about a conflict of interest between Tom Brady, the owner, who is now hands-on owner, not just investment owner, trying to reap the benefit of owner, not in the building owner, just somebody that has their money be a part of a team. He's hands-on now with the selection of the head coach, and I assume the general manager, strategy going forward, how the team's going to be built. Why else would you bring in Tom Brady at a lower rate, which was the issue with all the other NFL owners, for him to have say and make the Raiders great, hopefully, once again. Max Crosby was on Good Morning Football. He said in years past, I've stressed out potentially about who's going to be the head coach. This year, it'll all work out how it's supposed to. He looks so cool on Good Morning Football.
Clean.
Hair was perfect, beard outstanding. But I think there's a chance that a lot of Raiders people feel that way because Tom Brady is a part of it, because Tom Brady's doing the leadership. So then whenever he's calling games or whenever he's saying anything this weekend, for instance, Ben Johnson is potentially a head coaching candidate for the Raiders. He's on the call for that. A lot of people thought that it would be too much, and inevitably Tom would have to step away, or somebody would say, hey, not smart for you to be one of the voices of our game while also being an owner in the game. His agent has come out and said, $375 million, brother? Yeah, we're going to take that. Yeah, we are going to be doing that. He's going to fulfill his obligations and his contract that he signed to Fox. He obviously respects Fox and appreciates him. He's doing the best job that he possibly can. AJ, how do you feel about that? And do you think it inevitably gets too loud, especially if it continues to be an owner in the league for the Raiders?
I have no issue with Tom being an owner and being in the booth. I don't understand why people think he cannot do both. Like, they think his workload is too much. Like Tom Brady, who played in the NFL forever and has won so many Super Bowls that the guy can't handle it. Like, no, the season's 5 or 6 months long when he's in the booth. I don't really understand. I don't get caught up, I guess, in all of the drama, saying like, "Oh, is he going to get inside information from these whatever from when he's broadcasting and talking to people?" Okay, good luck. Like, he's going to be fine. I think it's way overblown when they think the advantage that Tom could possibly gain from being in the booth and talking to these guys. He could talk to him anyway, no matter. I don't get it.
Well, what about tampering? He's on the sideline before the games, walking around warm-up saying, hey.
He could do that. I mean, he could do that if he's not a broadcaster. He'll go to all the games. But is that not tampering? He can still have relationships with all these same people.
Yeah, but he's not getting a chance to see 53 and a third every single game, walk around the pregame. Hey, you happy here? Okay. Hey, you happy here? I'm not saying Tom would ever do that, but I'm saying all these things are the fears that people have of an owner, like an actual owner calling games. I like Tom Brady being around the game. Personally, I like Tom Brady having a voice in the game. I like Tom Brady having a podcast in the game. This is the greatest of all time. So the more we hear from him, the better. And I'm appreciative of. But I think like the people that think it's a conflict of interest are only going to find more things to get pissed off about Tom Brady being an owner and also lead voice commentary in this entire thing.
Yeah, people are bitching, and granted, it's probably jokes, but also probably not, that he cheated while he was in the NFL. So a way that he would be able to cheat here would be that he would, let's say week 1, he's calling the game of Commanders-Lions, and then week 2, the Raiders are playing the Commanders. Well, Tom just learned what their entire philosophy is going to be this season through interviewing and all that stuff before the game with Cliff Kingsbury or Dan Quinn. Like, that is what people are bringing up. Yeah.
What's that age?
That's overblown. Come on now. What are we talking about? In a production meeting, Tom's going to learn every secret of the organization?
He might.
Well, and I also thought that he wasn't allowed.
That's a big part of it.
Where do you guys do the production meetings? Like, could he come in with bugs and just bug the entire facility?
Which is what they did say the Patriots did to everybody else.
Yeah.
The Patriots
That
actually.
did happen.
I think the Patriots are at the Colts facility whenever they had played the Super Bowl here.
Yeah. Helicopters.
No. They actually worked out in the Colts facility.
And then
whenever they were in the Super Bowl. Yeah. After the week that the Patriots were in the Colts facility, hilarious. Sweep the entire building. We need to go into the ceiling. We need to go into everything and make sure that they have not left anything behind. But yes, anytime a helicopter flew over the Colts facility, there was always I didn't know Bill Belichick had his helicopter license.
What the hell?
We need to check that entire thing out. All right, big story in the NFL is what's happening with the Dallas Cowboys. There's obviously a legendary football name being associated with it in Deion Primetime Sanders. Joining us now, close friend, family member damn near, of Deion Sanders, former Dallas Cowboy, host of the Pac-Man Jones Show, friend of the program, ladies and gentlemen, Pac-Man.
What's up with the gang? How y'all doing?
Good. We're excited we're getting a chance to chat with you. There was a buzz in here getting a chance to catch up with Adam Pac-Man Jones. Con Man almost shit his pants this morning, actually. Jacked up.
What's up with the guys, man?
Hey, we're having a good time. You look so cool. Congrats on a phenomenal season of the Pac-Man Jones Show. The clips are everywhere. Conversations going crazy. One of them was with Deion Sanders. And at that time, I think there was no consideration of him potentially going to the NFL. That was kind of the chat that you had with him in your very close relationship. Now, after Jerry calls him, tries to we assume persuade him into at least garnering a little bit of interest. He said publicly it was intriguing to Adam Schefter. Now we're hearing about the NIL thing in Colorado. We're hearing about the staff salary at Colorado. Where do you think we stand on that entire storyline? And what are you hearing from Prime and or Jerry down there in Dallas?
All right, first and foremost, the next Dallas Cowboys coach is going to be Kelly Moore. Everybody knows that. Okay. With the relationship that's over there. Deion is not leaving Colorado by no means necessary. Okay. Unless he was able to coach both his sons, which I don't think that's possible because sources says that Ben Johnson is going to be the Raiders coach.
Okay.
Like real good sources. Like I'm talking about like real good sources, as we shall say. I don't think Deion is going nowhere. I think it was good entertainment. But I don't think Deion is going to Jerry World.
Okay, so Pac-Man says, hey, and by the way, Pac's been around.
Yep.
Long time in the NFL, seemingly friends with everybody. I think that's a pretty accurate assessment on the Pac-Man Jones. So he says Deion staying at Colorado, Kellen Moore going to Dallas, Ben Johnson on good authority heading over to the Raiders, and Shador probably going to be the quarterback there. AJ has a question for you, Pac.
What about Aaron Glenn, Pac? You got any inside information on where he might be going?
I don't. Aaron Glenn he's not in the circle that I'm in. So I had no sources on that one.
Okay, so let's get back to Prime. Let's talk about Prime a little bit because I know you are in that circle closely. When Jerry calls him, and I know you know Jerry as well, when Jerry calls him and says, like, hey, this is potentially an opportunity, and he called it intriguing, do you think there was a time where Deion sat down and was like, I have to weigh my options here? And then do you think he inevitably wanted to go back to Colorado because of what he built? Or do you think he was like, I got a thing going here in Colorado that I've committed to regardless of what Jerry's saying?
No, I'm quite sure he took the meeting. Everybody's going to take the meeting. But I think the big thing about this whole thing is him being able to coach the boys at the next level. If that's not a strong possibility, I think the NFL thing was already out of there.
Okay, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Pac, always a pleasure. The glasses are sweet. Do you know what Shedur's thoughts are with this draft upcoming? Does he have a preference on where he wants to go? Does it matter where he wants to go? And do the Giants cleats that he had in his bowl game locker room, is that kind of him pointing towards, hey, I want to go play with Malik Neighbors?
Shedur said he want to be the number one pick overall. That's where he want to go, number one. So whoever end up at that number one spot,
Tennessee.
Which you can see some teams trading around. I see the Raiders going up to get one because, you don't need no quarterback, Connor. Do y'all need a quarterback?
I don't know. We're four, though.
Yeah, so right now the lineup is Titans at number one, Browns number two overall.
Titans don't need a quarterback. They going to stick with what they got.
Titans are in a quarterback needy time because they're moving on from Will Levis, definitely. I think they're moving on from Will Levis.
100%?
Yeah, I think that is pretty clear. I think. Now, granted, they might get a vet because there's a lot of veterans that could come in there. Kirk Cousins potentially going to be available. Obviously, Darnold potentially going to be available. Daniel Jones potentially going to be available. Aaron Rodgers potentially going to be available. Has raw land down there in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And then everybody else, these are all the rookies combined with some of the vets, and there are vets that aren't on the screen that could be also on the market. Titans, we think, are going to need a quarterback. Maybe they'll go with a vet. The Browns, they just locked in again to Deshaun Watson, but that deal was locked in as soon as it was signed. He tears his Achilles yet again. Yep. Who knows what they're going to do? I think they might be interested in a quarterback. The New York Giants, obviously, they're going to be interested in a quarterback. The Patriots are the only ones there in the top four that don't need a quarterback, and then obviously Trevor Lawrence down there with the Jags.
Well, yeah, because ain't nobody going. They ain't leak Trevor Lawrence's name on the stadium down there. They just pay him too much, so they stuck with him.
You're talking about Trevor Bankfield,
Big Bank.
Yeah, that was what's he, $55 million a year? Is what Trevor's making down there. Okay, so you're saying the Shedur's, he wants to be number one overall. He'll go wherever he gets drafted. Obviously,
it just make a lot of sense, bro. Like him and Brady, they got a deal together. Brady have been training him since he was in high school. Like he signed to Brady right now as far as endorsement. Like. It just seems like a good fit to me for a guy that's the owner of a team that's been working with the kids since he was in high school, that knows his flaws and the things that he's good at, to get him. It just don't make no other sense for me to think anything different than that.
And also, he and Mark Davis tapped each other up, I believe, at a game or two. And they have a relationship and everything like that. There's actually a thought that maybe Prime is going to be head coach of the Raiders. What was that? He just gave a little head bob.
I heard that was a conversation, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Colorado is where Pac said he believes Deion is going to remain. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Pac, a report came out today that said Deion went to Colorado and basically asked for more money for NIL and for his coaches pool because they've already went away from the NIL. And Colorado basically balked at the idea and kind of is just standing pat for right now. Do you think with that report coming out, there's any chance Deion may reconsider and think like, oh, okay, maybe the NFL is a better option? Or do you think ultimately all this stuff will get handled at Colorado because his name is now, getting leaked out there to go to the Cowboys?
I think all of it get handled. If you look at the turnout they done had in the last year, nobody wasn't even thinking about Colorado before Deion got there. Now you can't even buy a ticket online for the next 5 years. So, and they had some big names come through there, and them boys was getting paid. They was getting paid. So I'm quite sure they can dig down deep somewhere and get the coaches a little bit more and help out with the NIL deal. And I don't think it'll become an issue this year, but if it don't happen this year, it may become an issue after this. But with the young talent that he brought in, the number one quarterback in the country, like I just don't see it's got to be a real miracle for Deion to leave Colorado. I truly think he really love it there, and it might be where he want to end up.
Oh, okay. All right. We took a little road there. We just took a little bit road there.
No
Now let's go to Cincinnati. Obviously, home for you currently. Tone has a question for you.
What up, Pack? What do you?
What's up, Tone?
How do you feel about?
What happened to y'all?
When?
Steelers.
Shitbird.
Steelers.
In the game.
You mean the week?
The last 5 fucking games. So,
You mean the week that you guys were already in Cabo? Or?
hey, it didn't take y'all but 24 more hours.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, I know.
4 more quarters. Yep.
Pack wasn't good at either city this year. But speaking of Jamar, he had the contract dispute kind of early last season. You think Jamar will get a new deal before the season comes? And if not, you think he'll hold out?
I think Mr. Brown got a brink trip down there right now, trying to figure out what the number is before April get here. There's no way that he don't get paid. What he said, he want $1 more. I think he deserve $1 more.
Yeah.
$35.5 million or $36 million. He's proving it though. He played week in and week out, and kid is electrifying to see, and he's a great receiver.
So, yeah, they both are. They're awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, obviously, absolute stud. Cannot wait to see how they keep that entire team together. Good for Cincinnati, good for football to watch them do their thing, and hopefully the defensive side is able to tighten up. Now, last question, obviously, for me, Rich Rodriguez back at West Virginia, brother. I know you and I are part of the conversation, and obviously we've kept in touch with Coach Rod. How do you feel about it now that we're a couple weeks removed from the decision being made, and what are your expectations going into this particular spring?
Man, I feel really good. I actually talked to Rod today. He got a couple of the guys that was rounding the circle. He got Noel back. Coach Castile is back. It's a lot of guys that know the culture of football. Not lazy, you know what I mean? Nothing lazy. We want guys that want to win and play hard. And I think we're in a good situation. He already got two big names.
Transfer portal, we've been crushing right now.
Yeah, we got a couple of them already. I think the DN, I can't remember his name.
Look it up. Yeah,
we got a big DN that we just paid too, Pat. He's a monster.
Yeah, JUCO guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This JUCO guy, they didn't know what his eligibility was going to be,
No.
and there was other people. There was other people trying to push for this guy, and Rich Rod was like, "We'll stick with you no matter what." Here, then the ruling came on, and the guy was like, "I appreciate you," and he's coming through. Now we're paying him, but he is I guess he's a dog, which is the only people that are going to be on this West Virginia roster. And did you hear they got tour duty coming up next week?
Yeah. I hated that shit. That's the only thing I did not like.
Yeah, we all did. Everybody hated it, but it was a massive part of building the culture. I think those dudes on that roster are about to learn what hard edge is in about the next week. We're going to find out who's in and who's out in the next week.
It just got real.
Yeah, yes, it did. And I'm excited for them. I'm excited for you. Keep crushing it with the Pac-Man Jones show, man. We're proud of you.
Hey, man, I love y'all, man.
We'll see you soon.
Foxy! Them lines look pretty good, my boy.
Yes, sir, Pac-Man. Super Bowl, this is the year.
Are they winning it? Are they winning it all?
I think so.
Let's go.
All right, that's Adam Pac-Man Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Pac. Love you, Pac. All right, so he said Deion's staying in Colorado. And then he said there's going to have to be a miracle. If a situation pops up out of nowhere that he has to take, he's going to do that. But I think from what it sounded like out of Pac, it's like he's at Colorado. He's at Colorado. But then the Raiders get offered up.
Ooh.
And it's like, the Raiders, he could coach his kid, but then he said Ben Johnson's going to the Raiders, which is potentially why he's excited about Shador potentially going to the Raiders because of his connection with Tom Brady. It's like Pac-Man is just, he's
tapped in.
Yeah.
He is. He's tapped into a lot of people. Now, how much do people know at this exact moment? Because as we've seen, things can change. Yeah. You know, more opportunities pop up, another situation arises. It's like things can change, but at the current moment, it feels like Deion going back to Colorado and Pac is in.
Oh, yeah, very
in over there. Ben going to the Raiders, even though Schefter in the first hour was like, why has everybody just got Ben Johnson going to the Raiders? Yeah. I think Pax got him going there. And then Pax got Shador going over there, too, if he can figure out how to make the draft work with Tennessee, 3 quarterback-needy teams at the very top of the draft. Man, I forgot how electrifying it is, all the speculation, all the bullshit.
It's the best.
This is what we're getting into right now.
Yeah. Without a doubt. But, like, the thing with Deion, too, and I think that, like, he might very well be, like, I want to stay at Colorado right now, but that's why the whole thing with, like, Jerry is, like, one of, if not the only owner in the NFL where, like, if he wants Deion bad enough, he's going to do whatever he has to do to get it. Like, I don't think there are very many owners like that, where it's like you meet with Deion and he's like, you know what, I'm good, I want to stay at Colorado, and they kind of say okay and go their separate ways. Like, if Jerry wants him bad enough, he will put together an offer he can't refuse.
And to what Schefter was saying, like Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the clear 1-2. And with both those guys, the Cowboys weren't even in the talking point. It was New York and New Orleans for Aaron Glenn, and then it was Vegas, Chicago, Jacksonville for Ben Johnson. So it's like if there is no clear number 3, then the splash kind of higher would be, Deion. And thinking about like the Patriots and Vrabel, who knows if he has to win back over the franchise or the fans rather with Dallas. I assume he does just because of the expectations and, kind of the dud of the season. Like hiring Deion would probably be like having the fans back on your side. Like that would be an easy way to be like, hey, I'm trying, I'm going out there, I'm doing this. This guy knows the star, he gets it, and that's what happened with the Patriots and Vrabel. Like with Kraft, everyone in New England is back on the Kraft side after the debacle of last offseason with the Apple TV documentary killing Belichick. After kind of the way the offseason went with paying people and guys not wanting to come to New England, like hiring Vrabel kind of basically. Clean slate with all the fans. Hey, we can forget about that. It's a new era, and that could happen with Prime in Dallas.
Okay, so maybe Deion goes to Dallas. Pack says he's staying in Colorado. Let's talk about another Deion Dawkins, the electrifying tackle for the Buffalo Bills. He was talking about going into this massive matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. He's feeling good, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure different players react differently to it. Some probably get a little tighter, a little more nervous. Do you feel like it's more fun? Do you feel like it maybe makes you even looser? Is that possible?
Do you see me right now?
That's what I mean.
I got goggles on at a press conference.
I know.
You asking me, do I feel more loose and free? I am free, my dog. I'm free, yes.
Do you embrace how fun this is?
Of course. I'm having the most fun in my life. And I am present in the time that we're in right now. I know what's going on. Like, this is history being written right now. And I know the moment that we're in. And, me, I'm just taking, not advantage, but I'm taking being present in the moment. Like, I'm embracing what's going on. I'm not trying to be too cool for it. I'm just Deion. I am just Deion. But yes, I am more comfortable. Of course you have nerves because, we're in elimination rounds. This is what football is. Like, this ain't, the best of 5 games or the best of 4 games, the best of 3. No, this is elimination chamber. So it's
it is.
It's thought of, but it's not harped on. Like, you have that in your head because that's the situation that is in front of us. But besides that, I'm free, calm, cool, and I am D-Dog. I'm going to be myself.
Snow goggles on. Smell me. Straight off of Pac-Man. Love everything about that. Elimination Chamber. Amen. Same rules for everybody. You lose, you are out forever. Unless you're Brock Lesnar, then you break through the glass and say, I'm done waiting.
Hell yeah. That's right.
We're doing this entire thing, and everybody in there has to smell him and see how that whole thing goes. How do you feel about how Deion Dawkins? I think that's a reflection on the culture. And obviously, I think that's a reflection on how great he is at his job. You don't have that type of confidence and free feeling unless you put the work in and you're very good, which I think that entire Buffalo Bills team feels the exact same way.
Yeah, I love everything he said there. It seemed very real and authentic. And so, yeah, of course there's nerves, but we don't harp on it. We don't make it a bigger deal than it is. And I think even a guy like Deion speaking like that, I think it might even calm some of the coaches down. We all know when big games are about to happen, the week leading up to it, that's when some coaches, they get super tight, and sometimes that they just freak out, and that trickles down throughout the rest of the team. So I think a guy like Deion is absolutely key to having these moments, because if you actually sit there and you think about it, like, hey, here we go. We win this one. We're one game away from the Super Bowl. Like, that's a life-changing event that I could hopefully be a part of. Like, you can't really put yourself in those shoes yet, I think, until, like, you truly have to take it, like, minute by minute, I think, in the playoffs.
Right in history, he understands the moment. I'm free, my dog. He said, I'm wearing goggles in a press conference.
Yeah.
You think I'm loose? I don't know. Like, I appreciate Dion pointing out the obvious. Like, brother, you think I got any worries up here? And also, to add to the point about Dion Dawkins, and we've chatted about this before, whenever left tackles have been trying to get off the ball as far as possible, we were all reminded of you have to break the center's ass basically with at least a helmet. Dion Dawkins lined up offsides the other way just to showcase, like, hey, it don't matter. This is me versus you. I will backpedal if I have to get to a spot and maul them. Josh Allen knows he's got a dog over there. The Buffalo Bills know they got a dog over there. And to your point about calming down the coaches, I think that's a huge deal. Joe Brady's name is now up for these head coaching jobs. It was a few years back. Then the Carolina thing happens, and he goes to Buffalo. Then he gets the offense coordinator job. It's like, I'm not saying Joe Brady get nervous, but a lot on the line for Joe Brady. A lot on the line for McDermott. And these coaches aren't all elite performers. Elite performers have the clutch gene. They understand the big lights and the big moments. Feels like the Bills coaches at this moment, ready. Feels like the Bills team at this moment, ready, more so than ever before. Same with Baltimore. It feels the exact same with them. And then you look at the big bad wolf, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's like, is this the year you can get them? Is this the year you can? Are the Houston Texans going to shock the world and end this thing for the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round, one game into a playoff run? It's like, I'm not sure. I don't think anybody will believe it until they see it. I believe the Chiefs is still the Chiefs, but some people believe maybe they're gettable this year. And you have to feel that way if you're in the AFC. And then in the NFC, Lions, Wagon, Commanders, Team of Destiny. Remember, we're talking the way they've won games.
Yeah.
Maybe the football gods are saying, hey, thank you for changing ownership. Thank you for moving forward. Thank you for making your fans be happy and proud to be fans of your team. And then the Rams and Eagles, we would assume with the amount of snow that's coming through there, that'll favor the Eagles. Matthew Stafford ain't scared of a damn thing.
No. Never has.
We got a great divisional round coming up. We'll continue this program on YouTube, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and TikTok Live. Supreme Court just won 9-0 to continue to ban that thing literally today. Trump has come out and said, I'm going to save it. And then we have no idea what's going to work. But we're still currently on TikTok Live. Come join us as we make picks and then thrust into a great weekend. Have a good one. All right. That creeped up on me a lot faster than I thought.
I completely forgot it was the 30.
Yeah. Extra ad sale.
Yeah, true.
For the ESPN ad team. Sold another 30-second commercial.
Good one.
Huge.
Real good one.
We only get a few minutes of these things. Let's see what it is. Actually.
Yeah, what is
we
it?
can watch it right now. Let's see what it is.
8 seconds.
Yeah, what run? Yeah, what run?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is it Blue Chew?
Oh, hell yeah.
Snoo?
Southern New Hampshire, baby.
What is it?
Oh,
Snoo.
I
Southern
went there
New
for a
Hampshire
little bit.
University.
Is that the new University of Phoenix?
No.
Yes,
No.
it is one of the preeminent online college experiences.
It's way better than
It's
University.
also a great school. If you're an Eagle Scout, you can go there for free.
I'll tell you what. Really? If you can tie knots, you can go to the Snoo?
Swear to God, yeah.
Is it Grand Canyon University?
No.
GCU is a real thing.
It sounds like this is a little bit of the Southampton Institute of Technology.
No, that's just the Southern in it.
I actually have been up there near their campus, though. The arena they have is actually like there's like a 10,000 seat.
This is an actual in-person place?
I think it's mostly online, but I believe you can take courses in person. The arena I pulled up, I was like, holy fucking shit.
That's not real.
Yes.
No
that
shit.
is.
Serious.
People,
What do they do in there? People bring their laptops and
Concerts.
do their...
No, like concerts.
People go there. I multiple people from the town I grew up in went to Southern New Hampshire University, and it is a astute college.
Yeah,
No
I'm
shit,
sure.
I took classes there.
Online. So you didn't take them there. You took them online
I mean,
through
sure.
them?
Yeah.
Did they carry over to anything that you needed to get done?
I was getting my master's before this happened, and then I just stopped.
See, that's legit.
So they can give out doctorates, this
They could do that,
Southern
yeah.
Hampton?
Yep, Snoo.
Southern New Hampshire University. Snoo.
I think a part of that deal, we gave up 30 seconds for them. We should all got doctorates.
Nice.
At least PhDs.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'll
some
take that.
Southern New
Look at this
Hampshire
place, man.
University.
Live for your die, baby.
It has a campus?
Yeah. It's a legit school, brother.
This sounded like
Never
the
heard of
University of Phoenix when you guys were talking about this. To be clear, I thought this was an online institution.
It's nice.
Look how
Really
nice that is.
I would guess most of their students are online students, but yeah.
Unless you want to explore
Look at that.
Snow
Look at that.
Arena.
Yeah, I told you.
Look how beautiful that landscape is.
We're hiking on an online university. It's crazy.
Dude, it's only partially online. Most schools are like that.
It's near Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's probably about an hour out if it's Manchester. 45.
Discover innovative designs. Oh my God, they got real classes.
Oh yeah, dude. This place is legit.
How many
Oh,
students
they're
on
working on
campus?
robots.
Probably like 100.
50.
Pretty nice facilities for them.
Oh hell yeah.
Is that Technical Institute? What is this?
It's just.
I was going for
I don't
business.
know.
It's a CIA front. What is
Finance.
I
this?
have no idea.
They bought a 30-second ad. I think we need to learn a little bit more about Snoo. Congratulations, to
Snoo's
Snoo.
awesome. Snoo's awesome.
Snoo.
For shooting.
The H is silent. Snoo. Snoo. That's just what we do. Snoo. Snoo. We're bringing the boom to you.
Oh, can you imagine?
They need
commercial.
They need to link up.
Yep, next commercial.
Could do it with the Snoo. The Snoo. The Snoo is on like the roof.
Oh yeah. Hey, speaking of great chance, we haven't got AJ's take on it yet. The most recent. Boom! That's just what we do. We're bringing the boom to you. Have you seen the most recent one? Might be their best work yet.
Yeah, I have seen it, but when did they do that? When did they give the 5 booms to the dead person and get in trouble? When did that happen?
That was on Cameo.
They didn't get
that was
in
on Cameo.
trouble.
Hey,
I heard it was a live stream, not Cameo.
no, I think it was a Cameo. I think it was.
The cameo.
It was. I think.
Well, they have
Okay.
they have the live things popping up in the video, so it is hard to tell.
But it's probably somebody ripping the Cameo on a live potentially, and then it gets in there. I would assume that they didn't just drop into a 5 big boom shoot at that brother without it being
You never know.
a
You
script
never know.
All right.
I heard from kids. I heard young kids told me. So yeah, I don't know.
So they just read a comment. Hey, my brother died yesterday. Hey, sorry to hear about your brother dying.
Aww.
With that being said, he had a life worth living. 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. Boom! It's not going to bring him back, but certainly let you know we'd like to memorialize.
It might.
Little
You never know.
Costco. Little Costco.
Has anyone ever
lit up.
tried to bring someone back with 5 big boobs before?
I don't want to get too far into it, but I was at a funeral where
5 big boobs?
nope,
Oh yeah, I remember
somebody
this
was trying to
story.
bring life back into the body, and that was a scene. I did not expect that.
How did they try?
Well, it was one of those everybody's got to pray and believe and
Sure.
buy in type thing, and the energy.
and it worked.
Yeah, how'd it end?
The person got out of the coffin, and they all
Had a
went and
cup
got
of
a beer.
coffee?
I'll tell you, there was a lot of us who, they didn't just go about their days.
Yeah, how do you handle that? Does someone pull them away? Like, what do you do?
Did actually Undertaker. Yeah, it got interesting because
Yeah.
it was my first time ever experiencing that, and I've had a lot of friends pass away, a lot, too many, and I don't try to do the funeral thing, but I'll do like the memorial thing, like, hey, we're going to do this. The funeral is just not how I want to see, that whole is not how I want to do it. But this was friend, family member, so very, very serious. Teammate, actually, very, very serious. So we all chose to go and support and show and everything like that. So it was interesting. I don't think anybody ever experienced that or expected that. I was asking the religious folks, I'm like, hey, I don't do a lot of the funerals. How often is this happening out here? Just so I know going forward what to expect walking in, that I'm potentially going to either be a part of something or an uncomfortable situation afterwards. Yeah, because after like 5-6 minutes of this, then they did have to pull person. Yeah,
5-6 minutes.
That's a long time.
Started out with a prayer. Prayer was like 90 seconds to 2 minutes. And then immediately after the prayer, we didn't say amen yet. Then it was, now it's time to put forth our efforts in beliefs. And I'll tell you what, I was trying.
Sure.
I was trying my best. It wasn't me.
Not hard enough.
That's 3 playbacks of the bringing the boom to you. The breaking the boom song.
You're talking about 5 minutes?
It's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. And it felt like 40.
Yeah.
Felt like 40 minutes in there.
can imagine.
Yeah.
Felt like 40 minutes in there. But it's a tough situation.
Yeah.
What if it worked, though? It's worth a shot. Like, what if it worked?
Yeah, so afterwards I heard from one person that they heard a story, obviously, about that. I said, okay, all right.
In the Bible?
No,
Someone crawled out. Someone crawled out of the casket.
Yeah, it wasn't Jesus Christ moving the rock. It was somebody got life back and didn't go on to live, but certainly extended some time of being alive or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, it didn't happen today. And I was a believer. I wasn't the one bringing the juice down.
Yeah, which is crazy because usually, like at that portion of the funeral, like they've already taken all your blood out and everything. They've done like the embalming process. So
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
yeah,
But
Definitely.
certainly.
But I did because I didn't want to be the one that was.
No, you had to.
You
had
brought
to.
it. You were still bringing it.
It's just like when I went Bigfoot hunting down in Georgia, I was told at the end of it that somebody in the group didn't believe hard enough. That's why we didn't see him. I said it wasn't fucking me. I started looking around. Who
That
was it?
son
They
of a
tell every
bitch.
group.
Who was it?
Every group for the last 30 years, they've been telling that.
No.
25 years he's been aloof in the woods charging people to go Bigfoot hunting. I would assume that there is a standard message at the end of a fruitless hunt for Bigfoot. And I was certainly one of them, but I was not happy with the group that I was with because I fucking was.
Yeah.
Locked in.
You think they ever have any of his buddies dress up in a costume and start banging the tree, like climb up a tree and start making noises and bang around so, keep the customers coming back?
I don't even think they're that advanced of a hustle.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't even think.
But you do think it's a hustle.
It felt like it.
Until you see it.
They had a megaphone that was about this big.
That's awesome. Like a cheerleader
Like,
one?
it was like a megaphone that was about this large, and they were like, it got real big.
Yeah.
And literally, we would just post up in places in the woods. They would rest it on like a log or something, like they were a sniper or a rifle, one of those, and they go, "Rah!" Like literally just yelling.
They're calling them in. They're calling them.
Yeah, that was the Bigfoot hunt, and it's a very, it's a lot of audio because they're.
What
calling,
did they say again? Can you do it one more time?
It was really just like a yell, and then somebody else came in and they got a hold of the fucking thing, and they did this different sound. It was like a ooh, like one of those.
Sure.
And I'm like, I guess we don't know.
Yeah, sure.
I guess that is.
What if they scare Bigfoot away? They might be scaring Bigfoot away for the last 25 years.
Well, the big thing is, as soon as it was awesome, so they set this fucker up.
No.
They'd set this fucker up, right? And it would be like,
wow,
everybody.
Like the Ricola commercial.
And they would do a full-on good projection, and then and then now you're just listening. Pitch black, 4 a.m. Georgia Hills in the woods.
Holy shit.
Nothing. Let's go to another spot. All right. Well, actually, you want to give it a go? Sure. I fucking take that. Like a full on. 'Cause they don't know what the. In my eyes, I left there thinking nobody knows what the sound is.
Sure.
That they're all guessing, but I don't think Steve would appreciate me saying that.
Hey, just right. You should have done the Ricola.
What if that is?
Yeah, it might be.
And to be clear, I might have. I mean, there was a couple. We did that like 50 times. I mean, we were in the woods for about 4 hours, walking around the hills of Georgia. Yeah. One guy was partially deaf, which is a big problem because we're hunting for Bigfoot, which is all.
Sure. Right.
Yep.
So
I hear him coming.
Yeah, not even hear him come, just hear anything.
Yeah.
Did you have any weapons? Like, what if they found him and Bigfoot attacked you guys?
You shoot him.
I will say there's not going to be a lot of times you're going to see old Pat McAfee in the woods without a. Just a heads. Tim McAfee's son. You're not going to see me in the woods a lot without a little something. Probably. Now, obviously, can't travel through state lines with that, but you can certainly say, hey, if you got one,
I'll take it.
I would like to. Why do you have one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you? Okay, well, yes, I understand how to utilize and operate that thing. So, yeah, I felt pretty safe about the. But I want to go shake its hand.
Sure.
But it fucking wouldn't show up because somebody didn't believe enough. Let's get to a break. I'm still pissed. What a waste of 5 hours.
Next time.
You should be glad you came back. I mean, normally I would imagine that's a, hey, come Bigfoot hunting with us, and then you never come back. That's what probably happened.
Tim McAfee said that whenever I told him what I was doing.
Yeah.
Said, so let me get this straight. You're going into the hills of Georgia overnight with a deaf guy and another guy to go find Bigfoot? I'm like, yeah. He goes, if you don't make it out of there, it's on you. And I'm not proud to be your dad. And I'm like, I didn't even think about potential death here until you mentioned it. He goes, first thought, you're going into the hills with random Georgia people? I'm like, yes. He goes, good luck out there.
That tends to happen to you a lot, where a lot of people's first thought would be death. It's like way down the list for you.
Yeah, me, I'm like, these guys have seen him 3 times in 25 years.
Gotta go try.
I mean, this is the people to go do it with.
They claim that they claim that they have seen him?
Claim. We had a fucking foot.
You got pictures?
Got a piece of hair. I saw a piece of hair was in a bag. Almost jacked that thing. They got the footprint, but it was made with the clay or whatever.
Yeah.
Fossilized footprint.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big foot. I think that's an accurate depiction of what this thing has. I don't know about the dong of it. got to be gigantic.
Gotta be.
Because the foot was huge. And then there was a photo of around a tree.
Yep.
Sure.
One of these.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But it was blurry, you see. So you had to kind of get through.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a big photo on the wall. So I don't know if that made it better or worse, bigger pixels. But I could see the blob.
Yeah.
I did one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Wow, that's out there?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you did see it.
This guy was out in the middle of the fucking hills, too. Left his family to do this 25 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
Out there. Saw it one time hunting and then committed his whole life to doing it again.
How could you not?
Seen it 3 times, 25 years, he told me. Look at this, I got a footprint. Okay.
Odds are good.
I believe it.
I tried to steal it.
Should
I said, I'm not leaving here without that fucking foot. And then I realized quickly, you should probably get out of here.
Yeah, sure.
Thought about Tim. I shook his hand. I'd go back out there with Steve. Dave, the other guy, Steve and Dave. Dave has a family.
Still doing it?
Still bringing it.
I'm assuming Steve's still out there. I'm assuming Steve is still, bringing it.
Still bringing it, yeah.
Dave, he might have been the one that didn't believe enough because I think he still had a family and stuff. So I don't know what he's thinking. It was a failed quest. But that doesn't mean that we won't find him again.
Amen.
Well said.
I did give up a little bit of hope on Bigfoot after that, though. I think I'm back in on it.
Okay.
Yep.
What was going on with those drones over there? Have we found that whole thing out here? Or is that just done?
It's done.
It's done. Let's not talk about it. Let's move along.
For now.
All right, let's make our picks on the other side. It's great to be here on TikTok Live.
It's going to get pretty bloody.
Drink it in.
Every day it's somebody attacking Talk's livelihood. Today it was the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
That's a pretty powerful bunch.
Yes, it is.
I don't know the rules of how this thing goes, but anytime I hear Supreme in front of it, feels like they have a lot of say.
Yeah. Clean sweep.
9-zip.
Yeah.
Talk and the others are marching on Washington. He's leading the charge.
On Inauguration Day?
No, on the Supreme Court to overturn the TikTok ruling.
If he comes flopping in,
yeah.
they'll hear him coming. That's the
They will.
issue with Talk. The way he walks and runs is louder than like people who clap.
Mm-hmm.
So the Supreme Court will hear Talk coming before they see him, maybe a mile out, so they'll have time to prepare. But they don't know the buzzsaw.
No.
That's right behind it.
That marble in there, too. That's echoing
Holy shit.
throughout. Yeah.
Yeah, walking through there.
Clapping.
Like Donald Duck.
Yeah. Let alone all the other TikTokers I saw on the nightly news, or maybe it was the morning news, one or the other. TikTokers crying.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him crying.
I know.
I think I saw the guy that everybody said was Dan Orlovsky crying.
Really?
I think. Saying I'm losing my family.
He's a working actor. What the fuck does he care?
Oh, it just looked like him, man. It wasn't him.
He's a big talker, too.
It was just a TikToker. Yeah, TikToker super
A
emotional.
lot of Dan Orlovsky lookalikes on TikTok.
Sure.
Talk, we love you, man.
Good run.
You did great work with that particular app. Are we going to have to call this guy Reels on Monday?
I started today just to see how it felt. It didn't feel good.
Maybe just call him Goofball.
Potentially. All right, we'll brainstorm later. Let's take a break. Let's make our picks on the other side and wrap up this wonderful week of ball on this Feel Good Friday, January 17th, 2025. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5. We're still bringing it.
I light every bridge I see here just to watch it burn. If you've seen all the hell I've seen, it make your stomach turn. I think you know why I do what I do when I do.
Started with 133 teams vying for one of these coveted 12 spots for this 12-team playoff. And it came down to 2 teams in the great state of Indiana kicking this entire thing off.
I try. I might drink a little, I might smoke a lot, counting down the good times, staring down the clock, throw some
The best year of college football that it's ever had is about to have the greatest playoff it's ever had. And it all starts right here in front of Touchdown Jesus and his beautiful Irish people. And I think if you say, go Irish. Hoosiers. They'll do that all night. If you make this kick, I will double his kick to $500,000. I will also donate $250,000 to a charity of Chris Daly's choosing. Yeah, let it go, man.
Oh, God.
Not terrible. Not terrible. Proud of you. One kick, $750,000. The Lord is watching you. Man down. Man down.
That's all right.
$1 million. And there's a bunch of that have been dating. There's a lot of them.
We don't just beat top 25 teams, we beat the shit out of them.
Okay. Google here.
But one thing you didn't learn from me is talking all the shit you talk.
Welcome to the most electrifying atmosphere in all of sport. I know European soccer fans are wild. That's like 30 to 60,000. You're about to see all weekend 100,000 plus bananas atmosphere, and that is one part of the reason why college ball is so damn great. Why are the girls here?
Is this not a fun show? No. Serious show? Serious football. Alabama Jones is very serious.
You know, he was trying to be funny, which I get it. And, you know, my daughter Kristen loves him, so that's kind of soothed the soul a little bit that somebody in our family likes the guy.
I choose to believe. In for a touchdown, Jesus, and everybody looking down. IU gets a massive win over Notre Dame. Shane, I'm sorry.
You're a real scumbag. I thought Coach Cignetti coming out here was a real disgrace to the game. He left his players in the locker room to go get some camera time for himself. I know a legend like yourself would never do something like that. Would you?
No.
No, it's disgusting. I saw it. I thought, wow, what a sad, disgusting program. Notre Dame by a million. Go Irish.
Riley Leonard and the Irish from their own two. Jeremiah Love breaks free. Jeremiah Love trying to go 98. Touchdown!
Might be fiction for a blowout here, fellas.
Couldn't wait to get to the wonderful state of OH! In the SEC, coming up to the Big Ten, when it's cold as hell, we shall settle the conversation here in beautiful Columbus. Coach, that hairline, you get a haircut every day?
Not every day. Not every day.
Big beard, big boot, Peters in tow, 500. Oh, this guy sucks. Holy hell. This guy's the worst we've ever seen. Just took out the Ohio State cheerleaders. $1 million here, JD level. Yep, this guy sucks at kicking, but we appreciate the hell out of you, David.
Jay Hart.
He has once wiped 100 times.
What? Wiped what?
Yeah, 100 times. There are actually people out there, psychos obviously, that like the non-frosted Pop-Tarts. Gary's probably one of the best football players I've ever been around. Non-frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts.
I like non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
Non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
Now, I, at one point this year, was the mayor of Cocktown. You were the mayor? Mayor of Cocktown, yeah. They voted me in there, and this is my
How do you become the mayor of Cocktown?
You just got to go around and say, listen, I heart cock. I heart cocks. Sorry, numerous. Whenever we found out that there was going to be a college football playoff game in Columbus, Ohio, we were all jacked up to see this Ohio State faithful be showcased to the entire world about how much they love football. Then we walked out here to this game day set this morning, and it was like, Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Rocky Top, Rocky Top. Well, in that song, they say it's home. Home for me is the North, and the cold is going to be Dahn. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes representing for the Big Ten. How cool was Sean Perkins, the Ohio State football team, for allowing us to hang out in their facility pretty much all day Saturday? They had 5 TVs set up, a bunch of recliners. Roosters supplied some phenomenal food.
Arctic temperatures. AJ Hawkins saw 2 moments. Darius Butterfield saw 4. He's fucking in for it. You check up on about first quarter, fourth quarter. It's all we want. It's all we It is now.
And off on the count. Travion Henderson in the open field. Travion Henderson is scoring. Another touch for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Story of the game thus far as Chip Kelly is going.
Mad dummy, bruh.
All of Ohio is excited. They were singing long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. First read, second read, third read, scramble, ball on the ground. Check down. Would hate to be a Tennessee fan or a chair near Morgan Wallen because they have no hope right now. Well, Howard, 101. Check. Jeremiah Smith.
By and large, these games have absolutely stunk, Pat.
Peter Herbstreit raising an absolute hell.
A couple people up here with that smoky orange face paint on that are feeling like real assholes right now.
As we look to the exits, and the Volunteers fans are saying, get my ass back to the South. This one's over. Bounces it. Touchdown, Ohio State. Boys, that was wide ass open. He's got left hand. 500 drones. Ones that we know about. This game's over, but we're still bringing it.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell through. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, this kid.
8.5.
If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
Kid stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen. I'm taking her on the
and also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He's making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little...
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this magical Feel Good Friday, January 17, 2025. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football is wonderful. That's A.J. Hawk. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, both with Ohio State and the Green Bay Packers. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys. AP Tone is here. And Tone, I'll start with you. What's the story of the week that we haven't given enough attention to? What's something that we haven't chatted about enough? Is it the Indy volleyball team, Indy Ignite, that have launched their season, professional women's volleyball here at the Fishers Arena, where they're packing it out and they're undefeated, I do believe. I think they are, I think they're a wagon. The Indy Ignite is the name of the women's volleyball team here in Fishers, Indiana. They've been balling. They've been doing it. Is that the story?
I actually met them at the bar a couple weekends ago. A great group of people.
Tall.
Very tall.
Very athletic.
I bet.
And they're filling up that Fishers, what's it called up there, Bruce? You live near that area?
Fishers Event Center, it was jumping last night. The parking lot was packed.
He said there's been some events that have come through the Fishers Event Center. This is a brand new venue. 6,500 seats, I think, 7,000 seats.
Something like that.
Somewhere in that brand new venue in Fishers, Indiana, which is northeast Indianapolis in Indiana or whatever. And he said there's some events, because he's got eyes on a parking lot from where he lives. Some people come to town, boy, there ain't no action. There is nothing. This Indy Ignite thing, though, I think they're starting to fill up even more, and they win. I think that's only going to get going even more. The location of it, perfect.
Yep.
And if you win, I think people are going to get behind it regardless. It's awesome. That's a beautiful venue, too, I think.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have not actually gone to anything. I only look at the parking lot attendance, but Indy at Night, the attendance has been great. Indy Fuel, too, hockey. It's been packed out for pretty much all of their games as well.
Here we go. Indy's alive. Indianapolis Colts going to Berlin next year. People saying, won't you stay?
Saw that.
I didn't say that.
No. I saw people say that.
I didn't say that. People are saying, maybe the Berlin Indianapolis Colts, and you take a year off over there. Maybe, that's what I think some people were saying. I was not saying that, obviously. And they're going to go over there, and they're going to do it.
No doubt.
And the Germans are a loyal family. Bjorn Werner from over there, former Colt, obviously, with the
Football bromance.
The football bromance show. Huge part of growing the NFL over there. So I think Bjorn deserves a massive amount of recognition alongside everybody else in that particular show and the country of Germany being big football fans. Colts going over there for a game. Why not 2, maybe 3? Colts
5, 6.
Loved here in Indianapolis. Let's never forget it.
Yes, they are.
It's much bigger than just those who are wearing the uniform at the moment.
Bingo.
Sure.
So no matter my thoughts on the situation, no matter anybody's thoughts on the situation, the Colts will always be held in high regard.
Yes.
Now, will people have faith in them?
Certainly
not always.
No.
Certainly not.
City doesn't right now.
We got shit to do, too. There's a lot going on here. We got Indy Ignite lighting up. Pacers are going to be around in the end in the Eastern Conference.
Well,
Fever just launched a $78 million practice facility for Caitlin Clark and her team there, as they're going to continue to only get better and better. So the Colts need to...
Does Indy have a new team in the new women's league that's kicking off soon?
That's only down in Miami. I do believe there's only one arena. The unrivaled. There's so many unwords.
I know.
There is.
Undisputed.
Forgivable.
Verse.
Unobtainable.
A universe.
Obtainable.
Unacceptable.
Unfuckwittable.
Unobtainium.
That's great. They've been trying to get that for a long time. There's another one of those coming out.
Yeah.
Another one of those coming out. I'm sure everybody's going to go watch it after what the second one was. You talk about just ruining an absolute.
Try to tell you.
You mean the Whales?
Was the second one not good? I don't remember.
I thought you loved
didn't
it.
mind the second one.
Really?
Yeah, and
You've been not minding a lot of things.
I think the thing
you're turning into Zeta. You're turning into Zeta whenever it comes to you guys had effort. You put effort in. I appreciate it. I respect it. I like it. Which, once again, I do like. I do like that you two have that. I do appreciate that you guys just respect and appreciate anybody making content. Like, I like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue. I think there's something that launched very recently that I very loudly did not like, but I do think. What is that? When it comes to those type of movies, they're very hard to make. And when they can, maybe the second one wasn't great in comparison to the first. But a lot of times that is what happens. So you can't compare it. I don't compare it to the first one. I just look at it standalone. Is this a good film?
We're talking about Avatar, by the way. The unobtainium was everything that was underneath the tree out there in the 9 light years away in Pandora. I mean, that's the whole what we're chatting about. But Unrivaled is the 3-on-3 women's basketball league that is tipping off today. Weren't able to land Caitlin Clark or Plum, right, I believe?
Yeah, I don't think she's in it either.
She's not.
But Beastu and everybody else is in part of this, and they're getting paid good money, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
From our interview with Beastu about this.
Yeah, their average is the average is higher than like the max for the WNBA, they said.
Bingo. Yeah, so we thought that it was a chance to maybe take over for the WNBA.
Yeah.
But one of the first questions whenever we talked to Beastu, GOAT, champion, obviously with Liberty next to Sabrina Ionescu and team over there, was, you got Caitlin Clark in there? And they said, we got a lot of great players, obviously, we're going forward. And that was do you got Caitlin Clark over there? Was really the question that I had. Turns out they do not. We shall see how it goes without Caitlin. Obviously, Caitlin brought a lot of new eyes, as did her entire draft class. Obviously, Caitlin's not just playing 5 versus 0, in college, which is why everybody was watching. But, you know, what it says, if you look at the stats, follow the ratings, there is a wagon.
There's a massive draw.
And it is, it's a good thing, not a bad thing for women's basketball, even though it felt like for a while everybody thought it was bad for women's basketball. I think inevitably it'll be a good thing and everybody will view it that way, but I'm excited to see how a women's basketball league does without Caitlin Clark, when Caitlin Clark potentially available for 3-on-3 league. I think it'll do well. And I think it's got guaranteed contracts for a few years with big investors, so I think they'll continue to draw massive amounts of talent. And good luck to Beastu. I'm pumped anytime an athlete gets some ownership and does something, so good luck to the Unrivaled crew.
Hell yeah. Something that we haven't talked about that we've kind of been watching all week was the Australian Open.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's her name?
Danielle Collins.
She's my favorite tennis player of all time.
Dog.
I didn't know she's not brand new. I did not know that she has been a tennis player for a while now. Went into Australia, took on Australia's belle of the ball, I guess.
One of them.
And they were letting her know about it the entire time. She's talking her shit. Huh? What? Huh? Why, that's what I thought.
How about that?
That's, kiss. And then later she even do kiss my ass to the entire crew. I like to let her know she is my new favorite tennis player on earth. You go into somebody else's house and somebody else's trap, and then you take over their trap, and then you say, kiss my ass. Yeah, I love everything about that. And then she did an interview afterwards where she said, basically, hey, Australia, thanks for the paycheck. Okay, the win, you get more money. And then she walked out, I'm like, this is a heel. This is a heel through and through. And to win that game and live up to the moment, I respect and appreciate it. What's her name?
Danielle Collins.
I wish I could get a jersey.
Yeah.
Has she always been doing this stuff? Has she always done this? I don't know.
I don't know either.
This is one of those, maybe it was just last year for me, but like getting into tennis, especially as like with the majors and when they kind of whittle down to the quarterfinals and semifinals, like it is awesome, actually. And I have never really been a tennis guy till last year.
Yeah, because if you're not good, you're going to get exposed. And that's kind of awesome to watch, you know?
Yeah.
And then if you're good, there's at least.
Yeah, like the guys and girls who are at the top are nasty.
Yeah, we're sliding and shit. I mean, there's a lot of drama.
Lot
of drama. It feels like the crowds are the most insufferable group of people.
No doubt.
You know, that's anytime they show the crowds, because you think to yourself, man, that might be a fun thing to go to. You know, because.
Like the U.S. Open?
Then they show the crowds.
Going to church, you got to clap. You can clap every once in a while, I guess.
I'm like, I don't know if that's really our crowd. Travis went.
Yeah, that's kind of more so Wimbledon, I think. I think Australia's pretty rowdy, and like they talk about how the U.S. Open is like people are just getting hammered in the stands.
Having a good old time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I get down and watch a little tennis, and I didn't know about her. Favorite tennis player of all time.
Yeah, let's push.
I'm willing to say it. Favorite tennis player of all time.
Yeah.
Even Lynch, Marty.
Marty Fish.
Marty Fish.
Marty
There
Fish.
it is. Marty Finch. Fish. Great golfer, great guy. Love his moxie. Second favorite tennis player of all time.
Well said.
Djokovic came out and was like,
Ben Agassi.
Danielle Collins is awesome. Like,
hold on. I'd like to redo it. Joker's my favorite.
Sure.
Because he started an entire medical plant, bought an entire medicine facility for hundreds of millions of dollars. because he didn't think that he needed to get the jab.
Because of this tournament.
Because of the Australian Open, because of the entire. Put Joker at the top just because of how.
Yeah.
Is that right? He was. Love that. Then let's put Daniel Collins number 2. Then we got Mr. Fish.
Marty Finch.
Fish.
Excuse me. You're right.
Fish.
Yep.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. You're right.
Yep.
Marty Fish.
Yeah. Great
Lefty.
untold.
He's lefty.
I know.
Jenny's
documentary.
Jenny is Finch. She's a great pitcher.
She is.
She was great. So I apologize. Both legends.
Both
of this thing. And if Jenny played tennis, I assume
Probably
she'd be
does.
great. I would. Yeah, I mean that
that's
forehand.
the motion, yeah.
Holy fuck! Because you're supposed to check the watch. I couldn't even imagine accidentally serving it right into
Yeah.
it. And
See
then
ya.
boom! And checking that watch. Oh my god! Maybe she needs. Jenny Finch is not in my top 4 tennis players just yet.
Top 4 softball.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, the entire Oklahoma softball team.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because how they train me. That coach is awesome. I remember broken arm.
Legend.
Paisan name.
Patty Gasso.
Gasso.
Patty Gasso.
There it is.
Wow.
Love everything about her. Love the Oklahoma. That's my. But back to tennis. We got Joker at number 1. We got Danielle Collins number 2. Marty Fish. Number 3. And then I guess you got to have SH.
McEnroe and Agassi both been good on the show.
Yeah,
Agassi. I forgot about Agassi.
Agassi was awesome.
He wouldn't want to be in your top 4. He fucking hates tennis.
No, he did at one time.
His dad made him hate tennis. Yeah.
Now he's back to loving it again. Remember?
He loves pickleball.
Did he?
Well, he played in that.
We know McEnroe hated it.
Yeah. Well.
Who's the
Pete
Serena,
Sampras.
obviously. Jesus Christ.
Serena.
That's so rude of me.
But that's a top.
Well, she's on
that's
your,
a top. Yeah,
she's
it's
in
a
your
tough
GOAT list, not
yeah.
favorite. It's 2 different things.
Yeah, 2 different things. Hey, thanks for just dominating the world for America. We really appreciate that.
Anna Kournikova.
Sure.
Is she an American?
No.
I don't know who that is.
Russian. Back in the day.
Sabalenka right now.
Connor's
Also
favorite.
bring it. She's number 1.
That's just what she do. She's bringing the boom to you. It's catchy, isn't it? Age.
It is. It's pretty catchy.
It's just like more schools get a shot to shine.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
Should we?
down to 2.
Maybe
down
Monday.
to 2.
Monday we'll run it back. Hey, I think we got a massive guest on Monday.
Nice.
I think. Like very large guest.
That'd be great.
Somebody we've never had on the show before.
Stature or size?
I think somebody that hasn't done an interview in like 8 years either.
Ooh.
Okay,
I
let's
think is the number. Gumpy, you were there. Was that the number? It was 8 years whenever it was talked about?
Yes, sir.
I believe. 8 years. I think.
We better
9, 10,
better come prepared to
7. Yes.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah.
me.
We got to bring
I'm always
Don't
prepared.
fuck it up.
We got to bring the boom there. We'll be at the national championship, of course, we're bringing the boom. Just like DoorDash can bring to you anything you need from our friends at DoorDash is available. You know, the game with DoorDash is the way it is.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, 1 out of 8 or 9. Okay? You're not going to get exactly what you order. It's going to be a little bit different because technology is involved, humans are involved, ordering is involved, picking up, moving is involved. But other than that, DoorDash will show up for you 100% of the time, whatever you need from them. You want a plunger if you're AJ, just clogging up toilets all over the place, DoorDash can bring it. You need a pair of pants, shit. Split my pants, shit my pants, whatever the case. DoorDash can bring you some pants. You need an iron? You got it. You also want some sushi? You want a little surf and turf maybe? Get a filet alongside of it? DoorDash got it. 5-star restaurants, no-star restaurants, brand new restaurants, DoorDash restaurants that have ghost kitchens, don't even serve anywhere other than DoorDash. They got your back. You can order pizza and more from the best seats in the house. Your house.
Boom.
Shout out to DoorDash. I love DoorDash.
Yeah, the best.
I've given them so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. It's like the amount of times.
What is that?
The
Is there a
fuck
mouth?
is that?
Someone just opened
Cat
the door.
dying?
Well,
Now we wait.
fucking Bone doing something.
Somebody
Stuff
will
in the
move.
ceiling.
Funny bone?
Animals in the ceiling.
Somebody will move out here.
Bone might be going for his 6th Mountain Dew of the day.
No, he's no more pop, remember?
Monday
starting
that
Monday.
starts.
Push it
He
back
was
to
still
Monday.
sucking down an extra large Dr. Pepper this morning.
Huh?
Talk.
Talk took a shit upstairs. So that's not good. He should never be pooping up there.
He shouldn't.
No.
With what he brings, which is boom!
Yeah.
Every time he poops, he's bringing the boom to you. How about on that plane? I don't know how the plane didn't go down. with him in the back of that.
First time.
I think he felt obligated to do it first time on a plane like that.
I would.
Got to go ahead and mark
Really?
the territory.
Is that an obligation people feel?
When I went to Europe and we were doing this castle tours, which they kind of force you to do because there's so many castles over there, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch the history. I mean, once you see one, you've basically seen them all. But, I mean, they are certainly awesome. I did make a nice little thing. I'm going to go to the bathroom and all these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just so King Henry's castle, I took a dump inside of it.
Yeah. Who forced, like the Colts forced you to do the tour? Or?
I wasn't over there with the Colts. I was over there for soccer.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like basically an easy thing to do. Like, hey, what are you doing on Monday? Oh, here's a sightseeing tour. Go see this castle. And then when you see the castle, you're seeing also a river, a bridge, a whole thing, because where they are always located. They're
sweet.
That's just like an easy European day filler.
And then you go eat in their little town and do all their little activities.
And then you go back to wherever you're staying.
Yeah.
And then the next day, what are you doing? Oh, we're going to go see a castle in this town.
It's different.
And it's going to be a different castle. You're going to do the whole thing. And it is cool. Like, all of it is cool. You know, it is because everything's so damn old. It is so
crazy.
old. So old. And I love how much passion the people seemingly have for it. You know, to like uphold it all. They understand that tourism is the reason why said town is potentially doing great. Some people do feel that way. There's other Europeans, I think, that didn't want me there. Of course. That happens. But yeah, I try to go to the bathroom, mark my territory and all those castles. Let them know that I've been.
Was it a toilet or was it the old school, like, you know, like a hole, like 8 holes that just drops into the big pit?
So I don't think Europe does the holes thing anymore. Japan had a couple of those where you had to grab the wall.
Yep, poop pits.
Yeah, just a hole in the ground.
Those sound kind of awesome.
Wow. One of those. Because you're kind of on a squatty potty.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Those kind of lost some steam. What happened to those?
Squatty potties? I think everybody started stubbing their toes off them whenever they were next to the toilet at night when they were going to the bathroom. That's my personal experience. I don't know about everybody else's. I'll turn the corner, boom! That's just what it do! It's literally right there on the right side of the toilet, and it just stubs my toe. It's like, okay, I'm about done with this piece of oak in my bathroom just so I can poop a tiny bit better. They did have some good steam, though, going. They did have some good steam.
They did, yeah.
First steamers. Yeah. Speaking of good steam, TikTok had it.
It did.
It's a good run.
Did I just see a video of the CEO coming out saying, we want to live, we want to survive, we want to work together, we want to drive? Is that what he said?
Oh, really?
Is that what he said?
Is that what he said?
I don't know. And what's AI and what's not, which is another massive piece of the entire conversation.
That was
Was
my
it
assumption with the
speaking
NFLPA.
English or Mandarin?
What's that? You thought the NFLPA thing was fake?
No, that was my assumption with the NFLPA. Like, hey, we can replace 150 people with 2 AIs.
Let's talk about that. Did you know the NFLPA had at least 150 employees? Holy shit. Who's paying for that? The money they're taking from all the players?
I assume, right? How do you, if you, that's the first thing I thought of. 150 people you want to lay off, or you're trying to like offer packages for them to leave and give them a year's pay. That's a ton of money to get rid of all these people. But how many total employees do you have?
Yeah, who's paying? Whenever you up fees, hey, we need to up the fees because the war chests and everything we're doing for you. Nothing. Everything we're doing for you. We're going to take more money. Hey, you're going to want us though, okay? Let's show you a video. Let's tell you what it used to be like, okay?
Yep.
Used to be real bad. You see these images? These are real images. See this? Dirt rolling around in the locker room. See that? Rabies-infested animals at your practice. These guys had to work 3 jobs to play football. Then we came in. And we made it happen for them to make this an actual professional sport. Was it you or was it somebody back in the day?
Or was it TV money as well that helped morph the game into a new dimension?
Yeah, and tell me how you play into this. You just kind of got dropped into this thing after it already started, or how are you hustling this entire situation? How are you making it better? Well, we're hiring, we're expanding, we're growing, we need more money. Okay, yeah, I don't think you fucking do. Okay, we want that thing to be, you know,
but that's why there's a new guy running it, so that's why this is probably a good thing. The new guy say, hey, we got to become more efficient here.
Finance guy, remember, if I do recall, he was a finance guy who has become the new NFLPA leader, and I assume he looked at the P&Ls every single year, and he looked at about 200 people, and he said, we're paying them how much, and what do they do? What exactly do you do here? And he said, get rid of them. Get rid of them. And I like that. I think what we're doing is heading to much, much, much better place for the NFLPA, which means much better place for the NFL as a whole. I know that there is always going to be an adversarial relationship between the players and the league, but The way the NFLPA, in my personal experience, went about trying to do business was the dumbest I've ever been a part of in experience. I mean, and they gave away my name and my likeness and even Boomstick, whatever it was, the entire thing. Hey, we got you an extra 25 cents a shirt. You're welcome. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
How about that one? How about just cutting me off at the knees, basically, from a business standpoint? Thanks, NFLPA. Thanks for making my life better. I appreciate that. Hey, I've been tested 8 times a month for like 25 straight months. Can you guys tell them to back off a little bit? And then they text me 3 months later when I'm already out of the program. You good? Okay. Okay, I am good now.
Yeah, thanks.
I am good now. 150 at least. Did you know there was even 150 employees? I had no idea there was 150. Should have expected that, though.
Where are they? So I assume they're spread out around the country, or where do they have headquarters? Are they?
New York, would that be?
Google's telling me that the NFL Players Association had, as of November 2024, approximately 528 employees across various locations, including North America, Asia, and Oceania.
These motherfuckers just stealing this money.
Wow.
So they owe Panini, the sports trading card company, $7.8 million. And this is apparently what the leadership is doing to help pay back that money. Not allegedly, this is what they're being reported as the fiscal year in 2024. They made $410 million in revenue and spent $389 million in expenses.
A lot of steak dinners.
Yeah, holy shit.
I can't take them seriously.
Yeah, a lot of fully baked potatoes.
Yeah. With the extra cheese, bacon.
Loaded.
Yeah.
The little green onions things.
Yep, the chives.
Which I like.
I don't mind them. I'm not getting a baked potato ever, but if I am, I would like all that. No sour cream, no, please.
Mm-hmm.
No way. No way.
But I'll get the butter in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mix it up.
Yeah, to make what?
Mashed potatoes.
Bingo. Boom. That's just what you do. All right, let's do our picks and let's get the fuck out of here. Got nowhere to go tonight or tomorrow.
How about it?
How about it?
How about it?
How about it? It's been a pretty wild ride.
Break open the ice cream, baby.
Yeah, I went to bed last night talking to Sam. She was like, where are you off to? And I'm like, I think I'm home tomorrow. Yeah, I am. Saturday, too. Home. It's been a fun run. Lucky to do it all. We'll do it again 10 times out of 10. And we only have one college game day left.
I know.
On the season. One college football game left on the season. 4 NFL games this weekend. 2 the following weekend. Then 1 2 weeks from that.
Yeah, Pro Bowl games, too.
Royal Rumble.
That as well.
In Indianapolis.
Yeah.
In between championship round and the Super Bowl. That feels like good timing for a magical event in a beautiful city.
City was built for Marks.
It really was. It was built for
Marks
to host this type of event. What were you going to say, Tone?
They're still doing Pro Bowl games?
Yeah. I think they're doing it during a week, too. I think it's during a week, and I think it rolls into Sunday.
Okay.
I think it's a full-on thing.
Can't wait.
We may or may not have been asked to be a part of it.
They suck.
It was kind of my lean whenever I gave my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that we're celebrating it. The people we would have to work with production-wise, yeah, probably never going to do that ever. But also the whole thing. Do we want to act like we like it?
Where's it at?
Orlando, which is a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Could go to Disney. And I like that they're trying to save the whole Pro Bowl thing. So I appreciate that. I think some of the things are just, we're making a mockery out of the NFL here.
Yeah.
Seems like this is a social media degree haver who doesn't know ball, thinking of ways to make football players look like doofuses. But they're great football players.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good news.
Sure.
But I think they're going to make it better. I think they're going to continue to make it better.
I thought most AP voters go to that, don't they?
Telling you to get eyes on the product that you voted in.
That's a good point.
I don't even understand where that came from.
AP, you're the one that's deciding who's the MVP.
Nothing to do with Pro Bowl.
Best of the best.
You don't vote for Pro Bowl? No, just all pro.
Yep.
I'm happy you guys don't vote for Pro Bowl.
Yeah, it's Mickey Mouse.
No. No. I think ball knowers, not that you're not. Not that all 50 AP voters.
Sure.
Who is the Pro Bowl? Players?
Fans.
Coaches? Fans?
Yeah.
They should get refs in there, too.
Yeah.
If it was just players and coaches,
Christian
yeah, I would
Gonzalez.
have some respect. But as soon as you let fans vote,
You lose interest.
they lose all credibility.
I voted.
I voted, too. I'm a fan.
Me too.
You a fan?
I voted.
What the hell are you trying to say, Tony?
You guys
Bill voted.
Yeah.
You guys are technically fans, yeah, but you're not fans.
Mitt voted.
I was a fan. I remember it got attacked. Mitt did vote. Mitt's a big fan.
What's this jersey say to you?
Says you're a marker.
A
Which is
fan.
exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Quadruple XL head coach Vrabel jersey.
Double.
With how small you've gotten, that thing looks like it is a tablecloth.
Built for a shirt cock session.
I don't think I fully know what that means. It means your cock's going to be sticking out the bottom?
Bingo.
Yeah, like Daffy Duck.
Shirt cock.
Precisely.
I thought you were. I didn't know if that was the case because the length of it, I was trying to check. I thought maybe you were going to tie that son of a bitch right here at the waist.
Nah.
You know, make sure it fits nice and snug. Whenever you head
Let
up
it
there.
You ever see little kids sometimes before they go to bed, they're just wearing tidy whities and a big T-shirt? It's basically what he's doing.
Okay, got it.
Just no whiteys.
Nothing.
Maybe socks.
Let's pick our games. Just right there on your forehead. Dangling. First game Saturday, 4:30. Favored by 8.5. The back-to-back Super Bowl champions on a quest to do something nobody has ever done before, even the incredible New England Patriots dynasty, win 3 straight Super Bowls. To do that, they're obviously going to have to win tomorrow against a Houston Texans team led by a young stud in C.J. Stroud. With Nico Collins back in the lineup, he's opened up the offense for he and Slowick. D'Amico Ryans leads a defense that has dogs across the board. They're playing their best ball. Lassiter, Stingley on the outside have both gotten picks very, very recently. And then Will Hunter and Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr., absolutely game wreckers. AJ, 8.5-point spread. Kansas City Chiefs at home.
Joe Mixon's questionable. Is that correct for Texans? Do we know that?
That's what it was reported, but he's definitely playing.
Yeah.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, he'll figure it out. You know, I've gone back and forth with this. 8.5 does seem like a lot. I know there's all kind of history going back with the Chiefs covering the spread or their lack thereof, I guess. But I'm going to take the Texans here in the points.
Wow.
That feels like a logical bet. What's the public doing on this game? Texans plus 8.5 just because of what the Chiefs have done?
55% on the Chiefs.
Okay. Let's go to the SeatGeek ticket pricing here just to see how much money it is to get into this particular game. Texans at Chiefs, $426 average resale price for this particular game. Obviously, that's a lot of money. Not as much as the Commanders-Lions game or the LA Rams-Eagles game. Certainly more than the Ravens-Bills, which doesn't make any sense here to me. $30 off. Obviously, use code PAT2025 at our friends at SeatGeek. You can be a returning customer or you can be a brand new customer. And if you haven't used SeatGeek before, you should get in there and try it. It is the greatest. They got tickets for everything, including these playoffs and divisional round. Okay, let's get back to the $426 ticket price. Kansas City Chiefs favored by 8.5. Taylor Swift's going to be here.
Yes, she is.
Did we see that stat with Taylor in the building? What they have been? I think they're like 11-7 or something like that.
They've only lost 3 straight up, and they've covered 11 out of 18.
Yeah, 11-7. There it is. Yeah, so 11-7, I believe, was against the spread with her in the building. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs to kind of do what they did last year whenever they had to play the Bills on the road. You remember they were doing Snow Angels?
Oh, yeah.
And they're everything. They kind of go crazy.
Talking shit.
Yeah, the Chiefs is still the Chiefs. I think that's what we need to remember. 8.5 is a lot. I'm scared to death to make this pick because I've lost so much money betting on the Chiefs. And they never cover. So 8.5 is a massive number for them to have to cover, especially against a red-hot Houston Texans team representing the AFC South. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for doing what you're doing. I appreciate everything you've done for the AFC South over the last few years, holding it down. I think they're a great team. I love everything about them. I just don't think they walk into Arrowhead and get a win, and I think this could easily be a 2-score game.
Yeah.
So give me the Chiefs. All right, let's go to the second game. Commanders, Lions, over under 55.5. Everybody thinks it's going to be a high-scoring affair. Jaden Daniels is obviously a mobile quarterback, and the Lions defense have not fared well against quarterbacks that can run. Terry McLaurin's a weapon, always going to be open, even whenever he's not. The defense for the Commanders, led by Dan Quinn, fly around, make plays. They're taking on a Detroit Lions wagon, though, a team that has been at the top of the NFL all season long. Even whenever they lost every starter on their defensive side, they still won games. Number 1 seed in the NFC for a reason. Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, you name it. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
God.
Who's the tight end?
Sam Laporta.
So good.
He is.
Where'd he go to school?
University of Iowa.
Feels like Iowa is tight end you.
It is. I mean, we can have any other argument we want, but it is.
Ben Johnson, is this potentially his last game ever as a Detroit Lion?
Maybe.
How about Aaron Glenn? Is this his last game ever as a Detroit Lion?
3 more games.
Sounds like it.
That's Evan Foxy.
3 more games.
You think you cover? You said that you've envisioned an ass beating here for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I think we cover. I think there's a reason it's the most expensive ticket in town. People from Detroit, people from Michigan have been waiting for this our entire lives. We're finally the 1 seed. We're finally Super Bowl favorites. It's going to be so loud for a rookie quarterback to go in there and try to win a playoff game. So I think we control the clock, ground and pound, win this game. We got Montgomery back, so I'm feeling pretty damn good about this one.
Okay, AJ, who do you like? How do you like it?
So, I mean, I love the Lions, everything they do. I think the Lions could absolutely win the Super Bowl. I know Pac-Man thinks that as well. But in this game, I am taking the Commanders. 9.5 feels like a lot. That place will be loud. It will be rocking. I'm sure Kid Rock will get that crowd, all riled up pregame, halftime, whenever it matters. But give me the Commanders.
I did hear there's Kid Rock performance pregame, halftime, and post-show. Is that right? Kid Rock's playing?
Yeah, and that's why I think we're going to win by about 1,000
Yeah, that's huge.
Okay, we don't know if any of that is true. We do know Eminem's going to be there, though.
No doubt. I assume so.
We do know the walkout is going to be awesome.
All time.
We do know MCDC is going to do his thing. We do know Anzalone back.
So good.
Still all the way back.
Changed everything for us.
Aaron Glenn, he brought it. How many times did he bring it against the Vikings? 16 times or something like that?
I believe it was 16.
Most out of any team in the entire season.
Yep.
Rookie quarterback, I know he can run well. And I know Jaden Daniels has done a fantastic job. But this defense shows a lot. And they bring it. And they're still bringing it.
Yeah.
I think the Commanders have had a wonderful start to a new era, a new year. I think this could be a 2-score game, too. Give me the Lions. Jeez Louise.
Bobby Wagner also very banged up.
But they have said he is going to go no matter what.
Bobby Wagner football.
Yes.
Just going to throw this out there as well. No punts in this game is plus 2,000. And the actual total for punts is 6.5. So you can get under 6.5 punts for minus 140 on this game.
Okay, that's a great bet, it sounds like. Especially with what the Lions do. They do not punt much. And even if they do have to punt, he's not going to. If fake punts don't count, right?
No.
Yeah, because even if there is a chance to punt, there's a chance both these teams will actually just fake it and say, ha-ha, you thought we were just going to give the ball back. Absolutely not. Go ahead, Tone.
Commanders went for it 4 times last week.
Okay, so under 6.5 punts feels like a very solid. But then this is also one of those games that could become such a cagey affair early that you just get mind blown. So I'm not necessarily going to jump on that. Gumpy's a good gambler, though, so he loves it. Give me the Lions minus 9.5. To go back to our NFL players conversation, I just got a text from Phil. We got paid by the NFLPA this year. Pat McAfee.
Wow.
$1.31.
Dude.
Don't spend it in one place.
Where are we going to eat?
I don't know. That might be 1,000 things. That might be 1,000 things that they sold my name on. $1.31. We're not 100% sure. Phil said this actually just came in. Check it out. And it's a payment remittance for $1.31.
Nice.
How do you even get to $1.31? Their deals are such shit. 150 people laid off. There's another, how many did you say altogether?
What was there, 524 I said?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Let's get to the divisional round. LA Rams, Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles favored by 6.5 at home. Supposed to be 3 to 5 inches of snow. Can you pull up the weather graphic, actually, as we check out what the temperature will be? 32 at kickoff. The coldest it'll be is 31. It'll feel like 22 at times in that stadium. 10 to 11 mile-an-hour gusting winds in Philadelphia for the Johns out there. 3 to 5 inches of snow is the big story for me. I like the Philadelphia Eagles minus 6.5, although I love Puka Nacua coming on the show the other day and Matthew Stafford. I believe this particular weather plays into the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles with Saquon Barkley, that offensive line, and who they have become this year. But I love what this Rams team has done. This is the divisional round. There's only 8 teams left. All these teams are great. Puka Nacua is an absolute dog. But I think this is the year Saquon Barkley has tried to prove that he is a difference maker, a game breaker. Same with that offensive line. A lot of people talking about these Eagles teams not being able to do it. They say Jalen Hurts ain't able to do it. Well, I don't think that's what they're going to rely upon. Young defensive line for the Los Angeles Rams. Very, 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 very good. This is not an understatement of them. But the run game and what they do over there in Statland and the way they set things up, it's a sight to see. I think 6.5 point win could be done by the Eagles. I'll roll with the home Eagles minus 6.5. AJ, how about you?
So I flip-flop back and forth on this one. Even as you were speaking, I'm trying to, I guess, go against my instincts on this one. But when I first saw this game pop up and I started thinking about it, I was thinking Rams, just because I think 6.5 is a lot. I think the Rams have a good chance to win this game. I think Stafford will be able to handle that cold weather. I'm taking the Rams here, minus 6.5, or plus 6.5, sorry.
Yeah.
Plus 6.5.
I want to let you know, all these big numbers, it's hard not to take them.
Yeah, because, especially with the Chiefs against the Jags, I think it was 2 years ago, like they were winning by 14 the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Jags' last drive, the Chiefs were just kind of like, hey, keep everything in front of you, and then they only won by 7.
Obviously, vastly different because it's college ball, but Texas is going down to tie the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jack Sawyer, fourth quarter, strip sack, touchdown, 2-score. They win by 14. It's like that was not how that game.
No,
that's not how that game was. Those things happen in ball. I've picked all the favorites. You picked all the dogs. I feel like an asshole going chalk in this entire thing. Will I continue? Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Let's go back to the weather thing, shall we? I believe it's going to be very chilly. It's going to be 19 degrees at kickoff. It'll get down to 17. It'll feel like it's 11.
Ooh.
6 to 7 mile per hour winds. Not too shabby, but we will have about an inch of snow gusting through Bills Mafia. I love the thought of Lamar Jackson in Baltimore being able to get over the hump and win it all, especially with the addition of Derrick Henry. Was he the missing piece? I also love the thought of Josh Allen basically having to put this entire team on his back and lead a young bunch of dogs to a promised land, playing better football than they've ever played with a defense, I guess, if you listen to Chuck Pagano and all the experts that are very confident in what they do. This is what we're going to do no matter who you are. We're going to play nickel, and we're going to do our thing, regardless of the setup. AJ, how do you see this game going as the Ravens are favored by 1 in Buffalo?
Man, this is a game that I think everyone's kind of circling. Like, this could be an instant classic, no question. But the more I look at this game, I love the Bills and what Josh Allen does. But, man, I can't go against the Ravens right here, and Lamar and Derrick Henry and what they're doing. So I will take the Ravens on the road minus 1.
Okay. Connor, what was your question?
I was going to ask where the money was, just because this game is so it's one where I wouldn't know where the public, like, you couldn't assume.
50-50.
Yeah.
Tough.
Jeez.
I don't like this one. It's hard.
Love both of them.
Yeah, so much.
Like,
so thankful for both these teams.
Yes.
For what they did for the NFL season this year.
That's what I was thinking with the AFC. It's so crazy. Like, during the Brady time, like, there was never a time where it was like this. Like, every single year, and granted not this year because Burrow's not in it, but, like, between Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen, like, every year there's going to be the conversation, like, one of them can't win.
These two teams have got a lot of friends in both buildings, too.
Yep.
A lot of friends in both buildings.
You know who to take. It's the Ravens.
Josh Allen's been special.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been special this year, brother.
Exactly.
He has been special.
I agree.
I mean, like,
I do.
He's winning. He's literally just, he looks like a youth football where he's just putting the team on his back against NFL guys. You agree with that, AJ? That's literally what it has looked like on many games. Like, this is a youth football where there's one kid that's more athletic and bigger and stronger and faster than everybody else, and he just takes over the game. That is what it has felt like with Josh Allen this year. Now, granted, is it different because Lamar is able to do the same thing, and Derrick Henry is able to do the same thing, and Patrick Ricard is 280 pounds, and Mark Andrews is all the way back into the swing of things, and likely he's able to do shit that I don't think a lot of people give him enough credit for because of how athletic, powerful, and dominant he is at the line. And you talk about 22X. Chuck was saying about them bringing in another tackle in there and just jam football against the Buffalo Bills, especially with this weather. It's hard not to think that. Zay Flowers out for practice yet again. He's not going to play.
I have a stat from at Williamson NFL. Against the Steelers last week, the Ravens played just 8 snaps with 3 wide receivers on the field, yet Pittsburgh played almost half their snaps in nickel, which we talked about. Chuck talked about in the Buffalo Bills. And obviously the Ravens ran for 300 yards. So will the Bills still stay in nickel all game long or not? We will see, but just a little tidbit.
I think if the Bills stay in nickel, the Ravens are gonna bring the boom. That's just what they'll do. They'll bring the boom to you. Yeah, right, I'll take the Ravens. I don't like it, though. That's a hard one to pick. That's fucked up that we got to pick that game.
Because you don't want either one to lose. It's one of those.
Bingo. I would like them both to be in next week.
And then the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I like them both to be in the Super Bowl. It's not possible. It's like, I'm actually very bummed out that we're going to lose one of those teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be loud.
And Aaron talked about it, yeah. Aaron talked about it. AJ talked about it.
He was right.
It's like Aaron's had to build up the who cares mentality after years and years and years of being murdered after a great season and not winning the Super Bowl. So he's a little jaded, I think, whenever he talks about who gives a shit what any of these fucks say with a microphone. You know, that is kind of, I think he's had to live through it so much that is how he has had to frame it. But there will certainly be a lot of noise on Monday whenever whichever team loses, whichever quarterback is no longer playing. And I want to let everybody know, we don't think it's fair here.
Nope.
It's not fair.
We love them both.
We're thankful for what they did to this season.
Amen.
The performances, week in, week out. The style of football. The way you went about doing your business, both of you.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you, genuinely. Now, for Hard Knocks, Ravens lose, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So, we know who NFL Films is pulling for.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Which?
Can we call Keith Koster? Let me call Keith.
If I'm a Buffalo fan,
yeah,
I'm definitely spinning that yarn.
Yeah, hold the
if they
phone.
lose.
We have some breaking news before we get out of here. Adam Schefter has tweeted information they told us this morning was potentially coming, but wouldn't say on the show. So he doesn't want to get it wrong. I can't get it wrong. You know, the way he operates. Titans haven't offered a contract yet, but they plan to try to hire, Mike Borgonzi. Mike Big Brain Borgonzi. The Chiefs' assistant general manager as their new general manager per sources. Haven't offered him a contract, but they're going to try to hire him because he's currently in the middle of a dynasty run, a Super Bowl run with the Kansas City Chiefs. He felt obligated to put this tweet out for some reason. I don't know why, because it obviously they're going to try. You never hear Schefter saying they're going to try to hire. So let's assume that they think it's close. Maybe it's close to the sides haven't started negotiations yet, but both sides want to get the deal done if they can, per sources. Okay, so Borgonzi said, "I'm not focusing on that. We got to win a Super Bowl." But yes. We will. We'll get with that at some point. So Schefter probably felt like other people were potentially going to get that information at some point. I need to report it now. Thought he might have had that by the time we went live. He did not. Now he's got more information. Feels good about it. Congrats to Paisan Borgonzi heading down to Nashville to be the general manager.
Great time.
Now Callahan's down there. Are they together? How do they feel about each other? Hopefully that's able to work out because Nashville is a wonderful town. Who's our quarterback down there?
Pack said they're not looking for one.
They currently don't have one.
They got a number 1 overall pick, which is worth a lot if you were to trade out, no matter what.
They're redoing their stadium, right? Aren't they renovating their whole stadium?
Oh, yeah.
Renovating the stadium. I mean, Nashville is like
good spot.
The GOAT.
I almost said it's the best city in America.
It's up there.
It's up there.
It's definitely top 3.
Definitely.
Just like cities. I think they're so hospitable. You rarely see bullshit. I mean, obviously, there's certainly crime that takes place. But that's a place where there's a lot of drunks having a great time, celebrating a lot. And very rarely does it turn into a fucking, Pittsburgh's a great time. Okay, I used to vacation in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's what my off season was. But everybody gets boozed up. You gotta keep ready. You gotta be on. Nashville feels like a good time all the time. Every time I've been there.
Awesome.
And then the people that live there, awesome. Every person I've met that lives in Nashville is like awesome people. So I think that's a beautiful city. I hope the Titans get going because their fan base and the people that sing the national anthem at those games are like megastars. We used to play down there every year, and it was just like, here's a Grammy Award winner, megastar singing the national anthem. It's like, that place could be awesome. I hope they choose to do that. I hope it ends up happening. All right, let's get the hell out of here. We made our picks. We'll be back Monday. We'll be live from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I believe.
Hell yeah.
College game day set. Shout out to the ESPN people setting it up for us.
Yeah.
Why not?
Con man stealing the trophy.
It's mine.
Maybe it's for all the marbles.
It is for marbles.
Countdown to 1.
Thing that sucks, loser of this game, just was distracted by the transfer portal and the NIL thing that everybody else has been able to take advantage of. And you end up with nothing. And everybody will celebrate the other team. So you're about a month and a half behind everybody else.
Yeah.
And trying to do what you are for next year.
That's why GM is so important now.
Very much, because you got to focus on what tomorrow is as opposed to what's going on right now. I think that's interesting. I think they're going to have to figure out the schedule and the calendar.
Yeah.
April 8th.
All of it.
Yeah.
Because the best teams shouldn't be behind that's not, you should be punished. And I'm just speaking, I haven't done full research on what the answer is. I am a solutions guy as opposed to just always pointing out the problem. So I will try to get one of those at some point. But you shouldn't be punished for being good or great.
No.
Like, that should never go. That should never be the case. Will they ever figure it out?
April 8th.
Yeah.
Did you hear about there was a big ruling that affected the April 8th ruling.
Oh, no.
From current administration. What will that look like in a week, actually, in this entire thing? I think that whole thing is a big question mark as well on what it's going to look like.
I just saw that come out during their meeting at the 2025 American Football Coaches Association convention, which Bill kind of talked about a little bit when he was on one of these last 2 weeks. The coaches supported to move it to a single portal window from January 2nd to January 12th.
They should move it to April. They should just keep the April one.
January 2nd to January 12th is still when they're playing the college football play.
One day after the semis. Or no, the quarters.
Mm-hmm.
They should keep the spring one. They should get rid of the middle of season one. They should keep the spring one, personally. But everybody's gonna say get a spring bowl in, get a summer in, gotta do that whole thing. All right. Spring one too. Semester school, are we not thinking about that?
No kidding.
No.
Well, I thought that's what we were thinking about.
No, we are not.
We were thinking about school. That's just what they do.
Thinking about that cash.
You're talking about the cash?
That cash.
You're talking about the cashola?
Cash.
How much you think Borganzi's getting down there to be a GM? What is a GM number? Did you see us grill Shefty on his Kevin O'Connell projections on his contract? He's like, high-end guys get 19, 20, 17, 18, 19, 20. Kevin O'Connell probably get 11. It's like,
right.
Yeah, what's he doing?
14 games. What are we?
Why is Shefty doing that? Shefty hamstringing him publicly, too.
Well, then he caught himself. He's like, I'm not negotiating.
I'm sorry.
He says, I'm not negotiating against Kevin O'Connell. Get everything you want. I'm just telling you. 35 years of experience. This is what I'm expecting for his second deal. So it's almost like it's not your performance. It's how long have you been. It's almost like you graduate almost to those, is what he was kind of alluding to.
McVay gets like 20. But also he, every single year, is like, I might go do TV.
They just offered me $30 million a year to do TV. That was a wild time.
Eventually he will. Eventually, hopefully, McVay does go to the booth because I think he will be great on TV.
Concur. Same with Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah. Right.
Same with Mike Tomlin.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Mike Vrabel.
He's never leaving coaching, so don't worry about that.
Chris Ballard would be great on TV.
Yeah.
Eight years. Are we going to do it this year or not? I mean,
No, this is the year. Absolutely not.
We're in the same boat. We're literally in the exact same boat here. I mean, you've had your now Chris Greer's been in Miami forever.
Yeah, but you're in a worse boat, Gump, because any time we bring up, like, that team's kind of soft, it's like kind of similar to.
Who was it?
Like 3 times today.
Who was the team of super soft?
Who'll be affected by the cold?
What was that one team? Oh, the Finns.
Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, it was the Dolphins.
It's way worse.
That is a shame. We had a guy that tapped out because he was tired, and nobody really talks about it.
No.
We apologize for that. We apologize that you guys are that.
I mean, you gotta fix it, right? You went into Green Bay, lost. Went into New York last game of the year and lost. You know, Jets stunk.
I mean,
whoa,
McDermott,
They did.
Vrabel, whoever they hire in New York, and then McDaniel. I know who's coming out alive.
Yeah, playoffs 2 of the last 3 years.
Supreme
Hasn't been
Commander Mike.
terrible.
Boom! All right, let's get out of here. Tony, you want to win some people some money or no?
Yes.
Yeah,
We do.
We worked on it this morning.
Really? Because you were
throwing?
Was it because you were worried I was going to do this, or just because you wanted to work on it for your personal?
No, we were just throwing a bit. Now I was fucking spinning it. So
He said, fucking throw one in that hoop, Tony. He said,
he
all
did.
right.
Here we go.
He put one in the hoop?
Yes, he
Drilled
did.
it.
You put one in the hoop already? Yeah. Okay, so you took the top off.
Yeah, tops off. Tops off.
Yeah.
Chuck, I would like to let everybody know, immediately after the show ended, Chuck threw a football right into that hoop right over there.
Yeah, I believe it.
As soon as the show ended. Literally, bank, swish. Would have been 50.
Sick of that gimmick.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of bummed out about it.
Yeah.
Tone Diggs, happy divisional round weekend.
Happy divisional round weekend.
Happy Feel Good Friday. Why don't you win 30 people $500 by putting that football into that hoop right over there? Go ahead,
No, remember what we worked on. Remember what we worked on.
That's it.
Get that elbow.
Remember what
Get that
we
elbow
worked
a little
on.
bit.
We're not doing any more of that.
Tony,
Yeah.
Tony, you're falling away.
Well, don't
Step
quit.
into
You
it.
can't
I
quit,
told him it's
Tone.
over. I did that for Tony, his friend. That's his
Appreciate
friend.
that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Fucking drilled that West.
Maybe throw one left-handed, Tone.
No, we worked
That's
on
what it looked like. That's the problem.
As soon as this guy opened his mouth talking about working on it earlier, there was no chance.
Yeah, but Tone,
That was after
I just
the
want to let
fact.
you
Come
know,
on, Tone.
Tone, I have great faith in your athletic ability. Okay,
I don't.
Personally, I've seen you do magical things both on a football and a baseball field.
That was a lot of time ago.
Agreed for all of us. But AJ just said maybe you should throw with your other hand. That's how bad those throws were.
Well, AJ's an asshole.
No, that's my first. If I miss right-handed, I'm gonna throw it lefty. I throw decent left.
Better pray to God he doesn't make this, Tony.
Oh yeah.
You got it.
Oh man.
God, I always think Tim Tebow.
Oh.
Yeah.
When I go, literally in my head right there, I was like,
What would Tim do?
That's how because I feel like he was a righty maybe.
Yeah, might have been.
I feel like just like kind of Tua, they have the conversation about Tua. Like Tua was forced to be a lefty in that entire thing. But the way Tim threw is either he was too jacked, he wasn't able to get the full fluid motion, or he was
right-handed.
Potentially right-handed. But nonetheless, won a playoff game in the NFL as quarterback lefty. How about whenever he was just jacking bombs?
Yeah, killed him.
Robbing home runs.
Was he a righty or a lefty in baseball?
Lefty.
Lefty.
Massive, too. We're
I
talking
want to say he threw right-handed, though.
in baseball?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure he
His
did.
throwing style was like not very. It was very robotic. It wasn't like a fluid.
because he came down. That was that whole
It's kind of
documentary
long.
on
Kind of
him
that long
before
motion. Yeah.
No,
the
he threw
draft.
lefty.
They were working
throw
on it.
lefty?
Yeah.
They tried to change his motion. Do you remember
Yes,
that? And the
yeah.
balls were just thrown into the ground.
It doesn't happen. You can't do that.
No, yeah.
Like,
Well, Josh
not
Allen
wholesale
did.
change.
Josh
No,
Allen-
but he didn't wholesale change his whole motion. Like he tightened it up and made it more efficient. He didn't hey, we need a whole new throwing motion.
I think Lamar went right here with it. I think somebody told him hey, probably 3/4 is where you're supposed to be. You see a lot of his dimes. Mm-hmm. It's
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. His feet don't even have to be set, and that dude can just on a laser.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he has an interesting throw as well.
Yeah.
Patrick. Because it doesn't look like he should have as strong of an arm as he has, but he has whatever you need in it.
Yeah.
He has whatever you need. We need this thing to be 60 yards. We need this thing to be 20 yards. He's got it in there. He's great. How's Jordan Love? Jordan Love's like a...
Kind of a sidearm gunslinger.
Yeah, he
almost.
is a little bit.
He's got a cannon.
He does have a cannon. His big thing, though, this year was same thing. He was throwing, falling away all the time, wasn't really setting his feet. So hopefully, who knows, maybe Dan Orlovsky will fix that next year.
Why are you...
So funny, Connor. Connor, where you at?
What's that?
Where'd you go?
What's that?
Do you want to showcase the back of that jersey?
No, I thought someone back there was big.
Why are you laughing?
No, nobody. What are you talking about? You don't think Dano can fix that?
I think he can. I just want him to stay 100 miles away from Drake May. That's all.
He's so weak.
I'm a huge fan of Dano. I want him in the league. Shefty said today he's 41. He might be a head coach at 45. Okay. Okay.
What's your problem?
I want to see it. I want to see it.
Dan's got all friends that are great coaches.
Oh, okay.
He has all the knowledge in the world. He has a passion. They just beat Bow and Gunner the other night in fucking hoops.
They did.
So, you know what? Maybe he should coach the Spurs.
I don't know if Pop is Pop giving that up? Is he still a coach down there?
Pop's sick.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He had a stroke earlier in the year, and he's been
Really?
sidelined. Yeah, actually.
Really?
For shoot.
I didn't know it was a stroke.
Jeez, that's pretty
Yeah,
serious.
Yeah, they said small stroke, I believe.
Tease peeves. Wemby.
But Orlovsky might come in there and
Chuck and Dan.
yeah.
Chuck and Dan.
Chuck and Dan. He's the head coach
Chuck
of that
and
thing.
Dan.
Chuck and Dan. All right. Tony, you want to step back up to the plate or what?
No.
Come on, Tone.
Come on, Tone.
Come on.
Step into
Tone,
it, man.
positive
You
self-talk,
made it when
Tone.
you did.
I don't
Positive
think so.
self-talk.
It's been enough time now where nobody even remembers.
I don't know if that should happen.
Fire!
Come on, Tone. 30 people, $500 on your
Come on,
shoulders.
Tone.
Step into that thing.
All right.
Do it, Tone.
Don't fall away like Jordan Love.
We only got 2 balls left anyway, so really, what's the worst that could happen? It's already been bad enough. You fucking nailed the West Virginia helmet.
Step right in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tone Diggs here. Grew up on Hialeah Drive in
These
Plum.
balls are great.
When they're inflated to fucking real.
We do have some deflated footballs around here.
Yeah.
We got a Patriots fan, and
This got disproved. In 2014, it happened. In 2015, they were like, we should start looking into this and check the PSI before games and after games. And guess what they found out after all those games? Oh, the thing that happened in 2014 happens in every single fucking game. And that got released after the fact, but no one talks about it because it's not fun and cool and hip.
look for softballs this weekend as we got 3 cold games, 1 game in the Dome. Those are a little bit soft. We do not keep them fully inflated for whatever reason. I know with those big old mitts, you like that thing to be nice and thick. But nonetheless, you got to put that Baby Duke 2.0 into that hoop right over there. And if you do, 30 people will win $500.
Oh,
see?
Stepped in.
See?
Stepped
Doesn't feel fully committed. I know he didn't have ears in, but he doesn't feel fully committed.
He was.
He is.
AJ saying, much like that Bigfoot hunting trip, feels like you don't believe enough. And that's why this has been a fruitless experience for the last few times. Let's make this a fruitful giveaway.
Come on.
Let's go ahead and put that ball into that hoop right over there and win 30 people.
Oh, that's the spot, though.
That was the line.
Holy shit, that was your best throw yet.
Stepping into that thing finally.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final ball. This is the Baby Duke 1.0.
Yeah.
This is the Orig. It's a little fatter design. Much harder to find if you want to sell it to people, though. They only made a limited amount of these balls. They are certainly magical. Not as magical as the Baby Duke 2.0, but this particular ball could be magical for 30 people who could win $500. If AP Tone is able to put that ball into that hoop right over there, going into the weekend on this Feel Good Friday, let's make it a Feel Great Friday!
He's an AP voter. He's a pro guy. Spin that Duke.
Oh, maybe punt one in.
Spin that Duke, Tony.
Tell you what,
Spin
give
that
up.
Duke.
Yeah.
All right.
What about the
I was
Russell
going to give him a
Wilson ball?
speech about not quitting, but he was pretty matter of fact there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with being done with this. The whole song and dance and pony show on his Feel Good Friday. I'm trying to have a Feel Good Friday too. It's only getting worse by the throw. What about tennis ball?
Come on,
Lost
Tom.
the tennis ball.
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah,
From this.
yeah, you got it.
In the hoop?
No.
Yeah, 50 people,
Yeah.
$500.
Holy smoke.
Oh, I was a little short.
Sorry I made you do that. Sorry I made you do that.
Give me a baseball.
I don't
Give him
think so.
baseball.
Wow. Shattered a backboard.
Let's get the hell out
He
of
wants
here.
to do more, though. Tone wants to throw more. That's good.
You can DoorDash your food. You can get tickets to SeatGeek. You can drive a Ram truck. You should wipe your ass with Dude Wipes. And if you smell like ass, you should use Dove Men's Care Whole Body Deo. Available now.
They are women's too.
You should eat Pizza Hut.
No doubt.
And you should have the greatest weekend of your life. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Boys, great work this week, everybody.
Hey, good work.
You too. Good work.
Talk. You know what? Talk. Why don't you
Yeah.
talk?
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
come out here and join us? Talk for.
Please.
For
I
a
want to see
team.
how he walks. I haven't seen him walk that much.
It's time for us to eliminate him.
Have you ever heard him walk?
Well, I watched him fall down that window back there one time. That was pretty amazing. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. I get it.
And you can't even hear it. You can see it. Your
Holy
eyes are
smokes.
telling you what it sounds
Heel
like.
first.
Yeah.
Heel first, too.
Oh yeah. He's a heel.
That's what makes it loud.
This could be the last day that you're ever talk. You know, Sunday the Supreme Court said it's over. So you might be reels on Monday, but the talk era has been stupendous. Great work out of you. Thank you for taking this particular program to different levels, to different generations, to different platforms. Thank you for helping us out in the TikTok era.
It's been a pleasure. We had a great run.
We did. What's next?
Who knows? Anything can happen. Death.
No.
No.
Eliminate him.
China.
Bill, bring out your gun.
No.
we're
Nobody's killing you.
Aren't we sending him to the Forbidden City?
No, he had his family. His mom texted him yesterday and said, "Are you getting fired?" Because no,
Oh, no.
no, you're not, that's really happened, right?
That's partly on me because I told her like, "Hey, guess who's moving back home?
Why'd you do that?
Your favorite boy's coming home."
Why'd you do that? I love his mother. I love his family. I appreciate his friends. I appreciate him. We'll just move right into the Reels era, brother.
Okay.
And then maybe even some long form editing for the Emmy Award winner.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Can you do long form?
He did a couple of them.
Yeah.
What about shorts? That could be a good nickname. YouTube Shorts.
Oh, yeah, YouTube
Yeah.
Shorts.
Yep.
What's up,
YouTube
Shorts?
Shorts too.
Still think goofball is the good one, boys.
Dumpy wants to call you Goofball. I don't
Yep.
think that's fair.
Goofball golf. Thank you. Thanks, Gump.
No problem.
No, he's just a goofball.
Just
No, you're not
goofball.
golf.
That's your name, goofball.
Heard you're a pretty good golfer, though.
Come
Heard we got 150 right down the middle.
Only when it matters.
All right.
Okay.
When the lights are brightest.
No, you gotta stay.
Get your ass up there, for fuck's sake.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together, no matter what your nickname or platform is. Team on me. Team on 3. Put that thing up.
Come on, Doc. Get up there.
Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
Oh, God. Goodbye.